Salute. Knicks Real Talk, the night show, Divine Bronx Jedi 7-6. Good evening, everybody out there, man. Hope everybody doing well, man. They chilling. Been a long week, man. So we got no Knicks basketball, man, until Sunday. So I know everybody trying to, figure out what to do and what to keep themselves busy and occupied. Y'all can always check out Bronx Jedi Sports Talk. Y'all already know what that is, man. And we here tonight, though. Knicks Real Talk, the night show, man. We're gonna get it popping up in here. Talk the Knicks season overall and review what we went on the whole season. We're gonna get into the first round of the playoffs. But in the meantime, man, salute to everybody out there. Hope everybody doing well. You already know the routine, man. COVID-19 still out there, man. Keep your distance, wash your hand, wear your mask, all that good stuff. And I hope everybody have a good day, man. It's Wednesday. We trying to get it popping up in here. So we got my man BX in the building. But salute real quick to Rosario, Camilio, Frank Matos, man. Salute to y'all popping in the chat right now tonight, man. And I hope y'all guys having a good week and just chilling back, waiting to get to the game Sunday, man. And we're gonna talk about that. But anyway, real quick, salute to my brother BX. What's good, my brother?
Hey, Divine. Good evening. How you doing? How's everyone doing in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or every platform that we're streaming to live? I appreciate you guys joining us this evening. Man, I'm having some Knicks withdrawals. I can't wait for Sunday. I'm missing. I'm like twiddling my thumbs. Don't know what to do. I'm watching the Yankees. I'm watching a little bit of the play-in tournaments. But I'm so used to Knicks basketball, man. I'm right now craving it. I'm missing it. I had to watch some of the reruns, of the season, and I'm just like, let's tip off already, man. Enough of the playing games. I'm watching all these other teams. I'm like, man, my Knicks could be right now doing this, doing that, and the highs and lows and the adrenaline of the Knicks. So I'm having a little Knicks withdrawal. So I can't wait for Sunday, Divine. So let's get it, brother.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I'm like this here. I'm like, I never wanted time to go by so fast in my life. Normally, I want time to slow down. But right now, I'm like, man, we got to get this thing popping. Then you thought it was gonna be Saturday. They moved it to Sunday. When it worked out for me, because I got to do some traveling. I hope we can get back home by Sunday, whatever, man. Get to check this game out and all that good stuff. And I'm watching no matter where I'm at. But yeah, man, it's like, yo, we got to get this thing rolling, man. Let's go, bro, for real. But you know what? In the meantime, man, you got Knicks Real Talk, the night show. We're here to keep you guys occupied, on tonight, man, to let another day go by. But, the good thing about it, man, tomorrow be Thursday, Friday, pop in. Next thing you know, we'll be here. And then we can get to the world most famous arena and try to battle the Hawks, man, and see how we're going to get this thing popping, man. So, but I'm excited about it. I'm ready. I'm geared up, man. I got my energy flowing. We just got to go in there and handle our business, man, and all that good stuff. And try to start this playoff round off on a good win. Going there to try to win that first game at the arena and get that thing popping, man. But we excited. I'm ready. And like I said, I'm like you though. I'm patient. I'm ready though. I'm ready to go, man. Let's go, New York Knicks. Let's get it popping. But other than that, man, BX, it just been a kind of like a funny 3 days off, man. You know what I mean? Like we haven't seen a while. Last time we had no Knicks basketball in 3 days was right before they had that 3 day off layoff. And now this turned into like almost a week. So, but that's good, man. I mean, the team getting ready to get prepared. I heard Nerds as well talking about that they had got like some type of playbook from Tom Thibodeau that wasn't big as the one in the regular season, but they said, boy, the thing was thick though. So I guess they feel like, man, so you could tell they serious about what they about to get into. You know what I mean? They about to really get on their grind, man, and I think it's gonna be real interesting to see what's going on with that, man. So we're gonna be excited about it. But in the meantime, guys, we're gonna go over the season, man. We had a nice 72-game season, 41-31. Man, it was a good season for the Knicks, man. So we're gonna go over that, man, get into all that content, talk about what went on in the regular season, and now that we're here, we had the playoffs, and we could talk about that as well, man. But what do you think, BS, man? It was a great season overall, man. We had a real good season, unexpected from a lot of people's perspective. They never thought we would end up the way we ended up. The team was pretty much gritty the whole year long. They played basketball the whole year long. Ups and downs, peaks and valleys. But for the most part, they stayed competitive the whole season. There wasn't too many letdown games in the beginning. Yeah, at the beginning of the season was a couple of here and there. But as time went on, there wasn't no letdown, not too many disappointments. Other than we went on a couple of losing streaks, which happens. You know what I mean? But the resiliency came to the forefront. They bounced back. The first quarter of the season, they did well, 8-11 or some of that nature. 8-13, and then they went on and went on another good second half of the season. I think they were a little bit better in the first quarter of the season. In the second quarter, they was better. Third quarter, they hit a little bump in the road with that 6-game, that 5 out of 6 losing streak. But the way we closed it out in that last quarter of the season was pretty phenomenal. We closed it out on a 9-game the streak, and then we closed it out 12-3, 12. So it was pretty impressive the way they did it, man. So I was psyched about that myself. But what's your overall view of the first quarter, your overall view of the regular season in general?
Yeah, you had a little bit of everything in the first half. The first 10 games, they were getting to know, buying in, learning how to trust in the system. I don't think they ever went below than 3 games under 500 of the whole season. I think they were all just around there. Every time they get there, they snapped out of it. They were very resilient. Especially after the first 10 games, you started seeing them buying in, trusting and seeing their results of listening to the coach and buying the program. One thing this season we got to give, they were very competitive and mostly in maybe 95% of their games. There was maybe a few stinkers that they got blown out twice by Denver. Not that many handful of games that they were not in. A lot of games they were really close. They were competitive. They were right there, single to 3 possession games at best, at worst. And they fell short, and they were learning how. Remember, I always remember saying in the middle of the season, this team is learning how to win. They got to take that stink and the stench of the losing mentality that they had years before, and they're learning how to become winners and learning how to win. And we saw it. We saw it after the All-Star break. They started. They had a chance to fold, and they did it. They kept trusting the system, trusting the coach, trusting in each other, and playing through thick and thin. They didn't make any changes. They said that you are the guys that we're battling with, we're going to war with, and they hang in there, and they showed it. And to finish your final 20 games 16-4 says a lot. I'm hoping I hope we go on another 16-4 run now, starting this playoff. That should be the bulletin board material. Let's go 16-4 again. And we did it before. We went to a 20-game stretch. We hit that stride. Let's repeat it. At the end, let's even if we come up short. We're 16-10. But the main number is 16, and I think they have to strive for that. And we see that, and we see everybody develop under the coaching staff. Everybody that they brought in. That's also one thing pleasantly surprising in year one of in this season 2021. You saw the emergence of Julius Randle becoming an all NBA All-Star player right before our eyes. His talent went to another level. There's also R.J. Barrett risen his game to another level of much more ahead of schedule. Everyone under Tom Thibodeau flourished. Just one setback was going through a little bit of a peak is Alfred Payton, but we trust Thibodeau to get that kid right and get him up and running and get him back in with a week off and him constantly working with, or Andy Gear or Kenny Payne working with this young man day after day and quickly. And you see the emergence of quickly. What a steal of the draft, bringing him in here, Divine, and all those other development. And this is what the Knicks have. They're developing. They're going in the right way, and they're trending positively. And you gotta like that. The whole season gave us not just good basketball, good fruition, but gave us good real Knicks talk. So I gotta appreciate that with this first season. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And let's see what the playoffs brings. It's gonna be a whole different animal. I heard the press conferences today from Tom Thibodeau. I heard that from Julius Randle, and they're focused. They're ready to go. We actually had a rare smile from Tom Thibodeau in his press conference, which was, it was when they asked him about Payton and then Keena and all that. He gave that grin, that Grinch, Dr. Seuss grin. That he's got something up his sleeve, and I know we're gonna be excited for it, Divine.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, man. For the regular season, man, it started off in the off season, man, with the hiring of Leon Rose and Worldwide West, and brought in the guys, Brock Aller and all the guys. They brought in Walt Perrin. They brought in the scouting team, a whole new different regime. Kept Scott Perry. Salute to him. Then they brought in Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau. They assembled a good coaching staff with Woody and Kenny Payne and Johnny Bryant and Andy Gear and all these guys. And salute to Mike Woodson, who's no longer here. He's in Indiana. They started off with that, and then the next thing they went and got some free agencies out there. They went and signed to the Alex Burks, Nerlens Noel. They brought guys like Todd Gibson in there, and and obviously they with the rookie draft, we bring in Manuel Quickly and Obi Toppin. We got them guys in here, and then and they came together as a team, and the guy they had from last year. brought back Todd Gibson also, and then down the line, Noel Pelt, obviously, and they had Austin Rivers. They brought him into the fold, but obviously that didn't pan out. So they moved on with him around the trading deadline or whatever, but or the buyout. And for the most part, the season started that way that they got into it. BX they started out the gate like 5-3. And they was looking decent, man. I was like, wow, this is a pretty good team here. You know what I mean? Tom Thibodeau had installed some values, some culture, brought the defense to the forefront first and foremost. And I remember him talking in the regular season, like, you know what, our defense, the corner three, and just playing hard and tough, and that was his staple. You know what I mean? He held true to that, and he did, and then next thing they just made it happen. So and then they had a coming out the gate, first game of the regular season with a short preseason, whatever the case may be. A couple of guys go down. Obi Toppin played one game, and he went down. Was out for like 10 games or more, whatever the case may be. Then you had Emmanuel Quickly, who started off good, and he got injured again. I don't know whether Embiid or somebody hit him in the rib cage. He was out for like 3-4 games. He was, and then we had guys go up and down. A couple of them, just basic injuries, and the COVID thing was in the play. So it's been a strange season, regular season with the COVID around, new regime, new everything. You know what I mean? And but they all gelled, and day by day, game by game, week by week, month by month. You knew that you could see that as time went on, it was going to really, really, come together. Because I see the character, I see the commodity and the chemistry. I'm like, wow, these guys play hard for this, man. You know what I mean? And here we are now, 41-31. Through a lot of peaks and valleys, but more peaks than valleys actually, because we 10 games over 500. And we could have been better than that. I mean, we have breaks here and there, injuries here and there, but being that every team in the NBA go through that, so it's really no excuse or nothing like that. But overall, man, the regular season was phenomenal. I mean, it was a great, phenomenal regular season for Knicks fans and for all us, man, and for the team and the organization and the buzz around the city. With no more laugh out loud Knicks, they was well taken care of, and then we got to where we at now, which is we about to come on this playoff run, and starting on Sunday at the world most famous arena against Atlanta Hawks. Obviously we played Atlanta pretty well this year, but it doesn't matter what we did with them in the regular season. Matter what happens now. You know what I mean? So we won't take it lightly because we beat them in the regular season. Well, this is a different game here, so we just had to go in there and pretend like that never happened. Just say that it is what it is. Now we got to go into the first round against them guys, and but it was a great season. BX, it was a real great season. Us Knicks fans, it brought us a lot of joy. You know what I mean? So salute to the New York Knicks, man, and Tom Thibodeau and everybody, man, for really, really bringing this team back to the forefront of NBA basketball. Fourth in the Eastern Conference. You can't say too much more than that. You know what I mean? Them cats, fourth in the Eastern Conference. 41 wins, 21 last year. Not knowing what we're gonna do, who's gonna be the new president, not knowing who's gonna be around. And sure enough, they kept the whole mix together, brought in a couple of guys here and there, brought in some new faces and new places, and now we here, man. So it was definitely a good regular season. I couldn't have been more thrilled as a Knicks fan myself for who've been watching Knicks basketball for so long to see us getting the respect that we supposed to get as an organization. You know what I mean? And so that was real impressive to see, BX, man. So we just got to get ready to keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to keep the good vibe. I saw from Ricky B, he said about the layoff for Julius Randle. He says it takes it all in the All-Star break. He gets a little going. I mean, it's a small concern. I'm good. I'm glad you brought that point. I didn't think about that until I read it from your comments. So pick up on that. I think it's playoff. I think this time around with Julius Randle, he trusts his teammates. If he's become is a better IQ ball player. So if he sees certain areas that he doesn't have it, I think he'll trust and lean on his players. I know he mentioned something in his press conference about having Derrick Rose, how big of he feels like that load is a little bit of a load off his shoulder that he could count in on a Derrick Rose coming in and helping him pick up that slack and help him with that lifting. He knows that Rose can't do all the heavy lifting, but he's got someone that he could trust to a second fiddle type of deal. He also he trusts his RJ, but RJ has time. He knows that he's only a 20-year-old kid. And to put that much on his plate right now, he's not there yet. Oh, that's the train. That's the train. The train is leaving the station, folks. The train is leaving the station. Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
that's the conductor. That's the conductor in the background. No, let's get excited. Let's inject that playoff energy, that vibe. Let's get it going. It's a party. It's a playoff party. I'm glad the train is reminding us. That there's a lot of basketball more to go. Injecting that positivity, that Knicks real talk energy that we need for the city, for the team. And yeah, and Randall ain't coming low. That train is buzzing, and it's gonna get them ready to go, fired up. And the New York Knicks will be ready for the playoffs. I believe in Tom Thibodeau. And what I told you last time we spoke on the Knicks Real Talk, if Tom Thibodeau does not win the Coach of the Year, this team is going to be venomous. They're going to be on fire. They're going to be kicking ass and taking names later. Excuse my language, but I think that was a highway robbery with the Coaching of the Year award. No disrespect to Monty Williams, a great guy, a good coach this year, his team, but he's been there for 2.5 years in Phoenix. They were 6-0 in the bubble yesterday. They were up and coming. They added one piece, and they were expected to take a leap up forward. It's supposed to be your coaching staff. It's not your sympathy, not the best sympathy story in the NBA. I don't know disrespect. I'm not trying to be cold hearted, but I'm talking about the truth. It's about your body of work, and Tom Thibodeau surpassed and win totals in 2 years what the Knicks, in one game, in one season, in 72 game season, by the way, what the Knicks won in 82 game seasons. That is a travesty. That is a robbery. That is a disrespect to everyone who for that man, for the body of work that man has put night in, night out. Like I said, no disrespect for Monty Williams. He's a good guy, but I think if you look at it, I think Coach Thibodeau should have won that, and that's that New York City biased narrative. You've seen it for many years now. You saw it in 1989 with Darryl Strawberry should have won the MVP, and he didn't win it. You saw it with Derek Jeter. He had a phenomenal season. He didn't win the MVP. Rookie of the Year, Miguel Andujar. They gave it to Shohei Ohtani, who didn't play as many games. I could go on long and on and on. There is a narrative. There is a bias when it comes to New York sports to give these accolades, and there is a bias to it. And it sucks. It sucks. It stinks. That man worked his butt off, his tail, and he got this team bought in. But that's good. That's more fuel to the fire, more bulletin board material. I think, like I said, this team is going to come out hot. They're going to come out hot, and they keep adding more, Divine. I call it, personally, what I'm calling it the Las Vegas stimulus package. They keep betting against the New York Knicks. They're stimulating the economy with all the, especially the Knicks fans, for all the years of garbage basketball. So if you have a few shekels, go ahead and be smart. Bet with your head, not over your head. They're picking. Vegas is picking Atlanta. Van Gundy got on radio and pretty much trashed the Knicks. Everyone is putting so much negative narrative over this team that they're gonna come out. It seems like the Knicks are the ones that just won the play-in tournament, and they're gonna play the 1 seed. They keep forgetting the Knicks are a 4th seed. And they're making it seem like Atlanta is going to destroy the Knicks. The Atlanta do not play defense. The Atlanta they have good scoring. Don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but I don't think when it comes to a fourth quarter matchup, they can handle the New York Knicks intensity and defense. I'm just like, I can't believe it. I keep calling it the Vegas stimulus package. Divine, what do you think on the coaching staff? I know I went a little bit off rails. There were a little bit of comments, but I just had to get it off my chest there.
Oh no doubt, no that's part of it, man. Yeah, man. I think that was a total. Like I said, like I told everybody before, them cats got max players down there. One of the NBA first ballot Hall of Famer, a young up and young coming superstar. You know what I mean? Great talent around them, man. And so they compared to what we have. We got a team with one star not even making 20 million, and everybody else making under 8 million. One guy who's like 1 year contracts, knew everything. When this guy come in here and turn that thing around the way he did, no question in my mind. I'm like, nah, they kind of played Tom Thibodeau on that one. But like you said, man, that's just the way it goes. But we answer that question in the end. You know what I mean? And when we get in the playoffs and make that noise. And they'll see that the Knicks is for real, you know what I mean? So that's fine, like you said, it's just fuel to the fire, man. They picked it, and like I do really believe that that media narrative about the Knicks played a part in that. You know what I mean? But to let it, so it is what it is, whatever. But you know what? We coming in here Sunday, put our work in, man. We gonna come up to the forefront on Sunday. We gonna go ahead against Atlanta Hawks, and we gonna show him why he was coach of the year. You know what I mean? Basically, that's what it all boils down to. We just show them cats why Tom Thibodeau should have been coach of the year to us. You know what I mean? And so when they go into that game Saturday, we got to go in there, like you said, come out the gate like gangbusters. You know what I mean? Just go in there and just get it, man. Don't even hold back. Just go in there and get that thing popping. And then you know what? I think if they bring that defense to the front, we good. I think we played the way we played all year, BX. If we can go 10 games in the playoffs over whatever it is, that means we probably easily in the second round. You know what I mean? But we need to go 16 and 4, 16 and 7, whatever the case may be. I think we're gonna have a good challenge on him, but I think we're ready for it. I think this whole week off, man. I think people underestimate what this week off did for the Knicks. You know what I mean? It really got them guys sit down and go over mistakes, go over this, get guys a little bit more rest, get a little more healthy. Now you think Alex Burks, he just got back off of COVID. Now he had a whole week just to practice. You know what I mean? Guys get in a rhythm. Emmanuel quickly come back off that little minor ankle injury, whatever. Now he can get back in the rhythm shooting. I think he's gonna play a major part in the playoffs because I think this whole week, what you think he been doing? Wow, to shooting threes, practicing, getting his rhythm back. You know what I mean? Them guys is getting in the rhythm. And I was looking at Bleacher Report. It showed the 3-point field goal percentages of all the Knicks, that the main ones over 40%. Everybody over 40%, and quickly at 39%. So that's why to me, I like when we get in these playoffs. When they start double teaming Julius Randle and they kicking that ball to them 3-point shooters, we're gonna be a problem. So and I think that's gonna be some good energy, man, to see that. So I'm excited about it. I think we go in there against them, man, and put it down. We go in there and play hard and get the Knicks fans excited. World most famous arena gonna be on buzz. More fans in the building. It's gonna be electrifying in there. You know what I mean? So I'm so looking forward to it, man. I can't wait, man. But we just gotta go in there that first game and if we can get these 2 home games. And I think I got a feeling the series might be over quicker than people think. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping anyway.
Yeah, they need to defend home court. I think no doubt. I think game 1 they're going to be coming out as gangbusters. They're going to be really battling. I just hope that they don't go in that stretch of period that they tend to get a little sloppy on offense and they allow teams to get back. They'll jump up. I think it's going to be the way they are. They're going to go on a run. They're going to jump up. In the first quarter, they'll jump up high. They'll go up maybe up 15, 16 points, and they just got to know how to continue to get that killer instinct. Hopefully, in the playoffs, they develop that killer instinct. That I'm pretty sure Thibodeau is pushing that on there. And one thing about that, the Phoenix Suns, if LeBron James would have not missed over 10 plus games, and Anthony Davis, I don't think the Suns win second in their conference. I understand you play what's in front of you. And we're talking about a different narrative of Coach of the Year. I know it's just something that keeps bugging me and bothering me with that. And also with this team, everyone under Tom Thibodeau has improved. No one's seen the maturation of Nolan's Noel. Nolan's Noel, first round pick, yes, very underachieving. Then he started bouncing around the league. It was in Philadelphia, OKC. He ran or he jumped around and. It looks like he found a home here. Maybe it all depends on contract and XYZ. The front office plan. Nolan as well has been what a revelation. What a turnaround. He found the right system in his game defensively. Reggie Bullock is improved. With that 3-point shooting. Now he's one of the most unsung heroes and players on the team. Very key, very critical. We've seen that beautiful 2-man game with him and Julius Randle. Hopefully that gets going really strong in the first quarter and they start hitting buckets and start working to fruition. Hopefully Alfred Payne starts attacking the glass and knows how to find a Reggie Bullock and kick it out if there's like an intimidating factor in the center position, don't get his shot blocked or because they're not going to call too many fouls. So he's got to learn how to pass the ball to the wide open wing players and hopefully, I know that the 3-point shooting is going to be there. The Knicks finished, I think that close to top of the 4th in 3-point percentage in the league. They finished it. So I love that improvement, Divine. That's something we worked on it. And it's really good. And everybody under Tom Thibodeau has flourished. I can't wait to see in the playoffs Alex Burke take over a game in the fourth quarter, close out a game. That's gonna be phenomenal. That's gonna be great. To see. I want to see how Derrick Rose. I know he's gonna go 100 miles an hour. Dare I say, I think we're gonna get a glimpse of a MVP type of Derrick Rose in these playoffs. He knows what's at stake. He knows he doesn't have much time to there at a high level, at a high minutes level, being second fiddle, and I think he's going to give it all out. I think he's going to go all out. He's going to leave it on his court like he does night in, night out. And what can we say about Taj Gibson? He's going to be diving for loose balls. He's going to be he's going to be very vocal on the court. You're going to see that leadership, and you're going to see that going around there. So we got. I can't wait for this playoffs. I can't wait to see that going around, and we'll see on Sunday what time slot they give the New York Knicks to play. Hopefully it'll probably be the 4 o'clock game, the middle of the day. To put him there and on ABC, get more eyeballs. The New York media has a big Nielsen rating, and they want all eyeballs on them. Despite the fact that the PGA Championship golf tournament is going to be on as well, but I don't think the golf can compete with the Knicks. Even though golf is a more of a national watch, but I don't think so with the New York market and the NBA playoffs. So who knows what the TV executives are thinking. So and also we're waiting to see the play-in tournament. If this is going to go extended to a full length of the play-in procedure, and they want to probably hold up the slot and time slots for teams to come in and travel, get a little rest. So I think that's why they're keeping us in the dark with the time slots combined with the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. What I'm interested to see, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Dave, Frank, Rick V, Camilio, everybody, man. Tim Smith, salute to everybody up in here, man. The last 2 games I was concerned about the way we was letting teams come back. Even though I know this is a game of runs, but that I'm kind of wondering did Tom Thibodeau speak about that over this week? Like, listen, guys, we've been up on teams like 17, 18. And we kind of let them get back into the game. And I think that's something I hope he addressed during this break, man. Like, you know what? Once you got once you got your foot on their throats, man, that's a wrap. You know what I mean? You go for the juggler. Then once you got them cats down, you got to take them out. You know what I mean? You got to take them out. And I hope they went over that during this stretch, man, because you being up 17 and 18, and you got to close them games out, man. And because the other team gonna get intensity too. So I hope the focus was, don't lose your intensity. When you was real intense getting them up by 18, you got to be intense to keep them down by 18. You know what I mean? When you go up 18, you got to make sure you keep these guys down. So I hope they work on that, man. And but I think it's gonna bode well for us. I really do, man. I think it couldn't come at a better time. It looked like Derrick Rose was getting either a little banged up from that Laker game, whatever. It looked like he might have twisted ankle here and there. Him and Quickly them. So I think they got enough healing time. And Julius Randle needed this break. Out of all our players, he's the one needed this week off to get ready to go into these playoffs. You know what I mean? And so I think that's going to bode well. I'm concerned about Alpha Payton. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is mental or whatever, but I do think that if he come out and have a suspect first game and it don't bode well for him, I think you're going to see a lot of Frank, man. I think you're going to see a lot of Frank Ntilikina. I mean, Frank giving us what Alpha giving us right now. You know what I mean? Plus with a couple of 3-pointers. You know what I mean? Think about the Alpha Payton having me scoring over 8 points. You know what I mean? Frank and I had a little of 8 points here, 6 points there, good defense. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if Alpha Payton with this week off. I'm thinking though, BS man, this week off might have gave him some time too. So I'm hoping that this week off really had Alpha Payton think like, man, whatever I'm going through, I need to get out of it. You know what I mean? And that's what practice could do for you. You know what I mean? A week of practice could really do that for you. I'm hoping that's the case, but we do need Alpha Payton's game, man. He was a part of this thing all year. He helped in the beginning. At the beginning of the year, Alpha Payton was the one driving the Knicks. You know what I mean? So let's hope he can get back to that playing style and playing feeling. And if he does, if Alpha Payton comes back and play well, I think we're gonna have a really, really good postseason. Because he could be an X factor in a lot of ways, you know what I mean? Especially getting to that paint to draw Clint Capella to him and be able to dish that ball out, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that would be the case. And then if it is, then I think we got a good chance of really, really doing something. But we gotta be ready for this thing Sunday. And it's gonna be a challenge, man. We're not gonna take the Hawks for granted. They got some good talent down there, really from an offense standpoint. But at the same time, we got a good defense team, so it's gonna be like a two different contrasts. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a contrast of offense and a contrast of defense. But I think what's going to be the key is that when our offense 3-point line starts shooting them trays and they knocking them down, I just really think that's going to be incredible. I mean, I think people underestimating how good the Knicks shoot that 3-ball, man. So you can imagine all week long right now, all they doing is getting in rhythm. In there, just knocking down threes, running over game plans. Looking at the playbook, studying what Atlanta Hawks do bad, what's their weaknesses, what's their strengths. They going over all that. I mean, how do we defend Trae Young much better than we have been in prior games? What I mean? So it's going to be a really all out challenge. But I think they really set for this week, man. I think they really going to put that thing down. I'm excited about it. We got to go in there versus the Hawks, man, and get it. I'm confident that we win that first game. I know that for sure. I mean, I say that with a lot of certainty, and I would say with a lot of certainty, man. I really believe that we can go in there and do that.
If they keep playing their game, of course. I don't think they're gonna come out flat. I put that in the chat. If you think the Knicks will come out flat or come out on fire, I think it's gonna be a little bit of both. I think they're going to be really excited and stoked, especially hearing that the way the Garden is ruckus and the crowd, even if it's only at 5,000 people capacity, it's going to be loud. It's going to be, vigorous. Especially, I think even when they come into the Garden before the game, I think the crowd is going to be phenomenal out there. I think there's going to be more people waiting for them to come in from the street, from cheering them on and getting them crazy, rubbed up. Than they'll be in the Garden, allowed inside. I think that the city's gonna be buzzing. The stadium is gonna be buzzing. And I think that the team is gonna feed off that energy. I think they're gonna. I want to see them. Play a little quick on the transition game in the start of the game. We all know playoff basketball. Everything slows down, intensifies, and it's a half court game. But in the first few 10 minutes of the game, I would love them to see them running and gunning, and just start going crazy. And hopefully they feed off the energy and, build a good lead in the first quarter. If the Knicks score 30 points in the first quarter, I think they're going to have a big win and later down the road, because I can see them. There's the second half, the clamps come in. The defensive stopped, and if their offense is scoring at that with 30-point quarters, it's going to be a long game one for the Hawks, in my opinion.
Yeah, true. Real quick, let me plug the show that we're going to bring the Sergeant in the building. Let me get a plug the show right quick. Then we're going to bring Sergeant in the building, man. We're going to get it popping up in here. Salute, Knicks Real Talk, the night show, Divine, Bronx I-76, and we got the Sergeant in the building, Knicks fan, G for life. You already know what it is. Salute, Sergeant. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, it's always a good day when I can join you fine gentlemen on the panel to talk Knicks ball. It's always a good day. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Salute to the chat. And again, salute to you guys.
It's good to have you,
man. Long week, bro. I'm going to lose my mind.
I'm gonna tell you something. You know what I feel like right now? I feel like remember Pookie in New Jack City? That's what I feel like. It's been a long week. A long week without Knicks basketball, brother. A long week.
Oh man. It still got 4 to go. 4 days to go. I'm like, man. I'm like, what? But yeah, you know what? It just getting us more geared up for Sunday, because that's gonna be a headbang up in there.
It is. Facts.
That's gonna be a headbanger, man. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it, bro.
You guys were talking about the energy, whether the Knicks gonna come out on fire, they're gonna come out flat. My concern is this, right? My concern is the nervous energy. So this is the first time these guys have been in this situation, right? They had a whole week to sit around and people say, block out all the white noise and all that. Don't read the tabloids. Stay off your Twitter page. Don't listen to all the naysayers. Don't watch Sports Center. Don't stay away from all that. Look, these guys are human, man. You know what I'm saying? They somebody's in the ear saying, "Hey, listen, don't pay attention to this, but pay attention to that. Focus on your game." That nervous energy comes out, and we're already notorious for coming out having a slow start. We've done that all year long. So there's no reason for me to believe all of a sudden just because we're in the playoffs, that's going to change. But what we have to have a plan to be able to recover from a slow start. Especially, I'm okay with a slow start as long as we can hold the Hawks to the same type of starting salvo, right? You come out the first round and you got that nervous energy and you throwing them haymakers left and right, and I'm on the ropes, I'm taking the body blows and whatnot. I'm letting you tire yourself out, punch yourself out, and then it's my turn now. So when my turn comes, then you got to deal with me. I'm hoping that's what goes down. But that nervous energy is what concerns me the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, man. Salute out my brother from the Motor City, Prince the Bun. You already know what it is. Salute, Prince. I see you, my brother. Salute to G Money in the building, Gideon in the building, Rick V. You already know what it is, man. Salute to everybody out there. We in here. We got the Sarge on the panel tonight. Salute to Tim Smith, Dave Jackson, Camilio, Frank Matos. You already know. Yeah, man. I agree with you, Sarge. But I think these guys gonna be ready for this, man. I think a week off, they had a chance to go over everything. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I was telling BF, I heard Nerlens Noel, and one of the the press conference thing where he was like, "Yo, Tibbs gave us a book that we had to go over. It wasn't big as the one that was in the regular season and the preseason, but he said this book, it's thick though. You know what I mean? So what it tells me is that these guys is like they locked in." And I hope you're right, man. I hope they come out. That's why I hope it's a 4:00 game instead of 1. I just think the matinee games, like them 2 games we had against the Boston Celtics and prior to that, the matinee games always seem like we got to get to a certain level before we get down, before we can get up. But let's hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case, man. We come out there like Ghostbusters, man. But I tell you what, it's going to be electrifying in that Garden Sunday, bro. You think you had 2,000 fans, 5,000 fans? Oh my God, man, it's gonna be nuts. I'm so psyched for that, bro. I really am, man. But we gotta get ready for it. It's gonna be a challenge. 2 different contrasting style of defensive team against the offensive team. And like I was telling BX, the good thing about it, 4 or 5 of our major players shooting over 40% from 3.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have. That's definitely a good problem to have.
Goodness. I mean, you got RJ, Randall, Burks, Bullock, and Derrick Rose even shooting over 40 and quickly shooting at 39%. So to add that with our defense, I like our chances, bro. I just like our chances, man. I just think we got to get this thing popping. Yep. BX, man, what do you think, man? About our chances in that game, the first game of the season, Sunday.
Yep, they'll be good. They'll be fine. I think it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna go a little bit on the contrary. I think they're gonna start off really good. I think they're gonna come high flying. I think they're going to be running and gunning. They're going to really punch the Hawks in their mouth. They just got to not let them come back. Once they punch them in their mouth, they got to, withstand the blows a little bit, but not allow them to come back fully or go totally up on the canvas. And if they do that, keep the foot on the pedal, they'll be fine with the game. Especially at game 1. They set the tone for the series, game 1. And I was going to ask you, Sarge, are you participating in the Vegas stimulus package? Because they look like they want to hand out money to everybody.
You know what? I wish I could.
I know. Me too.
Yeah, right. I would have been nice right there.
Once again, they're doubting us.
I'm telling you.
Man, they're doubting us again.
Yeah, always. It's always good to be the underdog. Nobody has confidence. The naysayers out there saying, first it was you guys won't have a winning season, right? No, I'm sorry. First is that you guys won't win over 20 games. Okay, then we go on a 9-game winning streak. Then it's, you guys won't finish the season over 35 wins. But then we win 41 games. And then it's, but you guys won't have a good season in the playoffs. Guess what? We're the number 4 seed. Now, now it's, you guys are going to get bounced out in the first round. That remains to be seen. So keep betting against us. You keep
Yeah, absolutely. Real talk, G-Man. G-Man had a little technical difficulty, so I chime in on his thing. I like the screenshot when you froze at him, though. Yeah,
That's
but,
cool.
yeah, right. Real talk. It's definitely going to be a challenge for us, but we good though. I think we good, man. I think we go in there and get it popping, and next thing we go in there and get that first game, and then we take it from there. So yeah, I'm ready, man. And like Dave Jackson, I agree with you, brother. Randall will ball out. Randall gonna ball out. I think Randall ready for this, man. I think Randall is ready for it. He's anxious about it. You know what I mean? Like I said, this week off means a lot. You know what I mean? And I think we just had a lot of chance to go over a lot of detail, get into a lot of things, man. Study and learn and work on your craft, work on your weaknesses, the things that make you better. Try to get more intensified, try to get your level up. And so I think we had a good week to practice and do all that good stuff, man. But so we ready for it, man. Real quick, man, we're gonna bring G Money in the building, man. Salute to the chat, salute to everybody on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Checking in the show, man. I hope everybody is doing well, man, and it's good, man. And but we here, man. Nick's ready to go into this game Sunday. We're gonna get it popping. G Money, salute, my brother. How you doing, bro?
Salute. We're shaking and baking.
And you know what it is, man. We good to see you, my brother.
Good. Crazy game in Memphis right now.
Yep. It's 85-83 Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
It's a back and forth game.
And don't forget, Memphis were up 21 in the game. Don't forget.
Right. They were up big. I was about to call that out, say that Memphis got off on the first quarter really strong, really high, and they got up by 20 plus points. That's what I'm thinking, that's what I hope the Knicks don't do. What the Memphis Grizzlies did, they got up big, they took advantage of the home court, and they allowed the Spurs to creep back in, and now they're in a dogfight in the fourth quarter. Hopefully the New York Knicks, learn from that mistake and see that around the league. I'm pretty sure they'll watch that and they'll say, you got to match your intensity and play a 48-minute game. So we're keeping an eye on that game. That game is back and forth, 5 minutes plus left in that game, and right now Memphis is up by two, and it's a good game. It's better than those other clunkers that we had in the Eastern Conference play-in game yesterday. And we know later tonight we have the second play-in, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden Warriors. That's going to be a really good game. That's going to be a crazy game right there. That's a battle. Steph Curry's playing like lights out. One of the best entertaining basketball players in the NBA right now. Could it be too much for him to take on the Lakers? With LeBron and Anthony Davis, can Draymond Green ruck the muck and bring havoc in there? It'll be interesting to see, because the winner gets the Phoenix Suns, and I hope the better team wins tonight and really take it to the Phoenix Suns. I hope Phoenix Suns get eliminated in the first round. That's my opinion.
Wait, why? Why do you say that?
Because I don't like them.
Wait, let me guess. Why don't you like the Suns?
Take a guess. Do you think Tom Thibodeau should be coach of the year or Monty Williams?
To be honest, I really don't mind for either or.
Yeah.
I gotta be fair for both. Listen, I know the Suns had a Chris Paul. I get that, but let's be honest. Going into the season, you didn't have the Suns the number 2 seed in the West. Don't lie if you did. Nobody had Phoenix being this good. I know they went 8-0 in the bubble. I get that, but it doesn't matter because they missed the playoffs. No matter how much we try to slice it.
So okay, let me get you this one. If LeBron James and Anthony Davis wouldn't have got injured, injury is part of the game, and would have, could have, should have. Do you think the Phoenix Suns would have been second in the Western Conference with the Lakers? No.
No. We can say same thing with Miami or Boston. Maybe if Miami or Boston were healthy, or Indiana, maybe we're not number 4 in the East. So what's the argument here?
I disagree with that because the Knicks had injuries too. Knicks team is solid, bro. I disagree with that. I don't care what Boston and Miami all I had. Knicks was finishing where they were finishing that day. That team the Knicks got, I don't care if Miami was stacked or not.
It's not just Miami, Boston, Indiana.
I understand that. But I don't want to go into that in this show tonight, man. This is not about the Sun. This is the New York Knicks Real Talk Show, not about.
I didn't bring it up.
I know. Giddy, I'm not talking.
I'm the one that said I didn't like the
Yeah. We were talking about the coach of the year. That's fine. I'm not debating about that. I'm not saying you did anything. It's not that. But anyway, let's get into some Knick talk, man. Like I said, we going over the game preview for the game Sunday, and we're gonna get in there, go in the world most famous arena. We're gonna get it popping. We gotta go in there with our guns blazing, bring our defense to the forefront like it's been all year, and bring our 3-point shooting to the forefront like it's been all year, and let's go ahead and get this W. It's gonna be a tough game because Atlanta got a great offense, two contrasting styles. We play defense, they play offense, but we also playing pretty good on offense, at least from the 3-point line anyway. I just think that it's gonna be a really, really fun game. I think the good thing about it, this week off, we got Emmanuel quickly being able to get back in his rhythm. Alex Burke getting ready to get back in his rhythm because they was kind of off rhythm when they got injured coming out of that Laker game and things of that nature. And with the COVID situation for Alex Burks, I think they had his week off to get back in the rhythm. And even though he dropped 30 in one of them games, but still just to have a whole week of practice, so quickly can get back into his shooting rhythm and get getting comfortable with what he was doing. I think it's going to be fun, man. I think we're going to go in there and do it, BX. I have no doubt in my mind Monday Knicks take that game. I'm not even questioning it, bro, believe it or not. So, I just want to see us going there, and it's going to be fun for the city of New York. It's going to be fun for the city of New York, and I'm on Dave Jackson. I'm on Dave Jackson. I mean, I agree with Dave Jackson 100% just about all year. Me and his brother kind of predicted like, hey, I see 2-0 at the Garden. I don't see Atlanta winning the game at the Garden. Now, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And so regardless of how good they are, I just think that with our home record is impressive. We know, and at the end of the year, we was holding home court down. And that's the key to anything. That's why you fight for that home court position to have home court advantage. And I think we're going to take advantage of it. Anything can happen, but I'm confident we win them 2 games and keep it moving.
I think we keep it moving. It's going to be tough. Those 2 games maybe come down to the wire, like the Spurs Grizzlies game right now. It may come down to the wire because we're a good shooting team. So is Atlanta. Also, Atlanta likes to get into transition though, so we have to prevent that though if we're going to win those games. And also, if we want to go up to nothing going to Atlanta, we got to crash the glass over Clint Capella. We cannot allow Atlanta to get extra opportunities though, and we got to make Trae Young work on defense, because Trae's not a great defender. So if we can do those things and watch out for shooters like Gallinari, Bogdanovich, Lou Will, etc., we should be good. But it's going to be 2 tough games, man. It's going to come down to the wire.
Yep.
Right. And one matchup there you got to see is Horder. I think RJ Barrett will have an advantage over Horder, a huge advantage on it. And hopefully he starts cooking and starts getting don't get a little too nervous. I don't think the nervous is not going to be in RJ Barrett's book. You've seen him; he's been playing in Duke for years. I know it's 2 different levels. It's a higher level, but the collegiate level, you have the fans on top of you. The camaraderie, the all that. They're loud. He's gone into Carrier Dome. He's gone to all these different locations. In Chapel Hill, he's played in all those, and that's intensity basketball. It's and I think he's ready for it. I think he's been groomed for this moment. I think he has a mental makeup for it, and I think he's going to eat Horder's lunch. I think he's going to be a problem for the Atlanta defense, and I think he's going to have a great game. What's it? DeAndre Hunter will be available for the Hawks. Okay, that's another player that we have to. I'm pretty sure the scouting report, the Thibodeau with that binder, and has that on there. Suspect the unexpected. And I think the Knicks will be prepared. I think our scouting report has been scouting these teams for quite some time now. Going forward, the past at least 10 games, they keep an eye on. They have kept an eye on that, and they know they have the scouting report. They have everything in there, and I trust our scouting report. This scouting report, this team that the New York Knicks has assembled to scout, and they prepare their team night in, night out. Like I said, we have a large body of work. We have now a 72-game season. And what we've seen for the 72-game season, they've been prepared. 95% of these games, they've been ready. So it's not going to change for the playoffs. You got to like it.
Yeah, what's interesting to me, BX, and I know everybody talking about how Bogdanovich or whatever it is, he's been hot lately. Think about the last 4 games the Hawks played this season. Think about the teams they played. You see what I mean? And sometimes we got to take into consideration they played the Houston Rockets, then they played with Orlando, and they played Washington twice. You know what I mean? So they really wasn't playing the creme de la creme coming down the stretch. You know what I mean? And opposed to us, we had the Clippers, the Lakers, the San Antonio Spurs, and even Boston in there. And who was the game for Boston? We had and every team that we played are in the playoffs or the buy-in at least. You know what I mean? So you got to take that into consideration. That Atlanta might have been hot coming down, but think about who they was playing too. You know what I mean? They played a couple of bubble teams. I'm not team that's going to be in a lottery. You know what I mean? And Washington Wizards, they just look what happened to them last night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They have been playing defensive team. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody they've been playing, they are not defensive minded team. They can go get it on offense. Now they about to run up against a defense juggernaut. When I mean juggernaut, I mean they about to run up on a juggernaut. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how they respond when Reggie Bullock go up in Badonja's grill and Bogdan. Think about it. Them cats is just 3-point shooters. You know, they not like they put the ball on the floor and run to the hole. You know what I mean? Other than Lou Will, Trae Young, a lot of them guys are just spot up shooters. And if we got the number 3, our defense is number 3 in the association around that 3-point line. I just think that's going to be a whole different ball game, bro. I think people underestimating the power of the Knicks defense against their lineup, and all they do pretty much is stay around the perimeter and shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
So with Nerlens Noel down in that middle, when they do penetrate, you got to get by these guys anyway. And RJ Barrett and Reggie Bullock and them, they just let you get by them that easy. And Randall Needle with that body of his, it ain't that easy to get to the lane on the Knicks. And when you do get to the lane, yeah. So that's what's gonna make it so interesting, man. It's like wow, two different contrasts of styles. And I think the advantage is this here: we shoot the 3 ball just like them or better, but we got a better defense. So that's what I'm looking to see how that match is gonna play out, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be real interesting, bro. That's gonna be one of those games where, like, and I agree with you, G Money. It's gonna be a tough game because they the reason why they 41-31 for a reason. You know what I mean? They're a good team. But I just think they're running up on something different right now. So and I don't think the Knicks gonna let the fans down at the Garden because they could have easily folded in that Boston Celtics game. You know what I mean? They could have easily folded in that game. You know what I mean? They said, nah, bro. We got it with the 4 seed. So like I said, they've been playing this New York this playoff basketball for a minute now. So like every game the Knicks played, the last 20 games was like a playoff game for them. So we got to see how the chips fall, man. And I think they're gonna be fine. Let me ask you a question, man. What do you think is the key to Beer to dealing with Trae Young? Because I noticed he only shoots 34% from 3, and I think if we can keep him from penetrating and kicking, I think we got a really good shot to kill him, guys.
I agree. We gotta get the ball out of his hands and prevent him from driving to the basket. And also, we gotta play without fouling when it comes to Trae, because Trae Young loves to draw those fouls sometimes. So we just gotta play without fouling, and we got to clog the paint and pack the paint when Trae goes to the basket, and there are other guys to beat us. We can't allow Trae to beat us. If Trae has a great series, we're gonna be in huge trouble. So we gotta watch out for Trae and be physical with him.
I think we got to make Trae Young a scorer from perimeter, because if he drives in and he finds the open shooters, he's going to get everyone involved. You don't want him to get everybody involved. You want everyone to be stagnant. That not a lot of players on the Hawks could create their own shot. And with the dribble penetration or separation, they rely on him to penetrate and keep them hit them in their spots, hit in rhythm. And if they could neutralize that, I think that's a big key for them to win. Especially especially if the shooters are cold and coming into the fourth quarter and they just don't have it because Trae Young is taken out. He's not felicitated. He's not finding the assists. He's not there. I think that's a big key to victory there. I think the rebounding. I think they'll be able to clean it up. They got to be careful with Noel not to go behind and start doubling and going and leaving the paint to try to block shots or the unnecessary steals. I appreciate that he wants to man the defense all around, but that's where the offensive rebounding and the putbacks from Propeller will hurt us. If he's leading his man to try to help out, rotate, the rotation's got to be sharp. They got to be on point, and they got to be they have to communicate on defense, which I have seen them done all season long. I don't see why they won't do it in the playoffs. But as long as they keep rotating and communicating and moving around, they'll be fine. That defense will be there, the intensity, and like I said, if they just don't allow the Atlanta shooters to get comfortable in shooting, they'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick, salute G-Man. G-Man has a technical difficulty. That's
Salute,
why he's
G-Man.
not on the panel right now, but salute G-Man. Salute the worldwide launch. You already know it is my brother. Salute Dave Jackson, Sin Nick. You know what I mean? Nick Man, salute. We up in here, man, just talking Knicks all, getting ready for this thing going on. Rick V. Salute to Rick V, everybody, man, up in the building. Camilio. You know what it is, Tim Smith, Dave Jackson. Let's get it, man. Yeah, man. It's definitely a good chance for us to really to put our staple on this thing, man. I think we go in there, play our game, and do what we do best, and that's play Nick basketball, and everything else will take care of itself. It'll take care of itself if we just go in there and play our game and put up what we got to put up and play the way we need to play. I think we're gonna be fine. I just think it's all about our defense. First and foremost, our defense got to come in there and do what they do. You know what I mean? And once they do what they do, and then we worry about everything else later. But I think we're gonna be fine. I think we're going in there to really put some work in, man. So I'm excited about it. I really am. I'm looking forward to Sunday. It can't go by fast enough. I mean, once it get here, then we go in there and get it popping, and then we'll take it from there, man. You know what I mean? And that's what we're gonna do. But we know we made it, guys. We made it. We made it to the playoffs. What a great to me, what a great season that we had. I mean, as a Knicks fan, you got to be excited about that. For what they accomplished. We went in there and we put it in. You know what I mean? And we made it. We worked hard. We fought for everything we had, and we came out and made it happen. We executed the coach's game plan, the organization's game plan. We wound up being 41-31, playoff first round, home court advantage. If that ain't a great season, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Compared to what the procrastinators and all them was predicting where we was going to be. For us to wind up to where we was at and where we at and where we going, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit for this franchise, man. And what a great feeling after 8 years and being absent from the playoffs. We finally get back to the playoffs. We in here now. We just got to take advantage of it and make it happen. And hopefully we can pull this thing out, man. And then we get ready to call it the second round. Get down, I guess against Philly, most likely, if that's the way it pans out. Then we go in there and battle Philly, man. Play them good, play them hard, play them rough, and we'll be happy with the results either way. Because I think if we get out that first round, then the season was to me a real high achievement. Then we go in the off season and revamp, retool, get the pieces that we need, and come back in next year, man. And when the season starts in this regular format, and fans in the stands. We probably upgraded the roster a little more here and there. Then we're ready to take on this next step in our maturation, which is getting to the Eastern Conference Finals possible. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking forward to, and I think we on the way there. BX is just a matter of just staying focused like they've been, man. But salute to the Knicks, man. What a great season.
Yeah, they just get the experience first round in, get the experience of the playoff taste. And if once they get that playoff experience, they know that their game in the regular season that they've been playing playoff basketball, half court set, team defense, team rebounding, fundamentals, clutch shooting, and other than that, they need a point guard for distribution of the ball around. But they've been getting from Derrick Rose from the second unit. Those are all type of game that they've been playing, and that's what they're going to see in the playoffs. It's just a different intensity. You're just going to do it against higher caliber teams. You're not going to have, your Houston Rockets. You're not going to have the lower echelons team. It's a 7-game series of top-notch teams preparing the strategy within the strategy. But you're going to see the same looks probably from different games or the variation of it. And if they could, how much they would adjust and how much they trust in their work they put in, and have a high IQ mentality. Those are all growing, learning curves and growing, and that's going to be a good experience going forward. No matter where this train continues going, it's going to be a great learning experience. And if they really have the deep run that I think they will, it's only next year they're going to even better. Now they have they're going to be even much more better. So it's an all-win situation for the Knicks going forward. There's got a lot of work to be done, in my opinion. This team has a lot of work to be done, and they're showing it, they're speaking it, they're conducting themselves, and their attitude is they're not here just for a short time. They planning to be going on a deep run, planning to continue working hard. I'm glad you're back, Sarge. Yeah, we're talking about the Knicks, their expectation and the way their experience that they're going to receive this year.
I think two things. The first one is I think it's a good thing that the team actually gets to experience the playoffs in the manner in which they arrived at this journey, right? So a lot of people look at, we made it to the playoffs and we've arrived, but I think that the thing that's understated here is the way that we got here. First of all, no one believed that we would be here. No one gave us a chance to be here. And what people I think kind of gloss over a little bit is the reason that we're here is because these guys bought into the scheme of we are playing together. We are playing for one another. We're gonna block out all the outside noise. We don't care what the naysayers have to say. We have a set goal, and they're still on the same. They're still on that same trajectory right now. If you talk to any of them, they say we're not done yet, right? And that's that mindset. They remind me of that New York Giants team that ran up against the undefeated uh, um, Patriots team that no one gave us a chance going to Arizona. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and write the check now and hand it to these guys before we even step on the field. That's not happening. Anything is possible, but I think that two things. Well, one more thing is that Tibbs is going to stick with what got him here. People complain about the starting lineup. They don't want to see Alfred Payton in the starting lineup or whatever the case may be. If it ain't broke, then don't fix it. There's a reason why Alfred Payton is on that floor starting every game. There's a reason. I don't know what it is. I would not sit here and act like I can tell you I'm in Tibbs' mind and I understand why he got this man on the floor when he's giving us what he's giving us. I would never sit here and tell you that. I don't know, but we're winning games. I mean, not the way I would like for us to win games, but we're winning games. We're getting that result. But I think that we got to win, and you guys already talked about it. I was kind of listening in the back when I was trying to get back online. But we got to win these first two games. I want these first two games in the Garden. Absolutely. If we get these first two games in the Garden, I think that we can close the series out in 5. That's my belief. I think that would be our trajectory.
Yeah, I think real quick, Sarge. I think that's why I agree to 100% with that, and that's why I agree with Dave Jackson as well. I just think that this last month showed me really, really a different basketball team, man. These is not a bunch of cats. It's just the Knicks is here for the get down. You know what I mean? They had people. Knicks had many opportunities to fold this season. They had many opportunities to say, you know what, we ain't good as people think say we are. We're gonna lose this here. When they lost 5 out of the 6 games, Knicks could have they could have folded right there. You know what I mean? Everybody, they about to go to the lottery. Next thing you know, these cats go on a 9-game winning streak. And I say that to be saying is that you got to see how resilient this team is. These are some resilient dudes down there. I'm like, damn, you lose 5 games out of 6 games against the creme de la creme. I mean, you want to lose against a mediocre bet. You lost to the Philly, Brooklyn. You know what I mean? You lost to Luka them one time. You were losing to powerhouses. You know what I mean? And for them not to get down on themselves and say, well, we're going to give up the season. And them cats just kept competing, man. So that's what makes me feel good about going to the playoffs, that these cats are resilient. And even when they get down 10-9 points there, it seems like I never worry about them. They're like, okay, we just got to let Randall get a couple of buckets, and then we just got to catch Reggie Bullock over here, or Burks over here, or quickly over here, then we back in the game. So and that's what's so impressive about this team, man. And that's why I say overall we had a great regular season. It was a great regular season because you've seen the maturation. You've seen the elevation. You just seen these cats getting better every game. And then when Derrick Rose came on board, that was it. I was like, okay, now we got somebody who's battle tested. You know what I mean? And when they bought Todd Gibson, I knew I said, you know what? Watch when Todd Gibson came in. Guess what happened? Nerlens Noel started shining. Now he had somebody who he can learn from. Mitchell Robinson started shining when he got injured. I was like, yo, they bringing in the right bodies. Tom Thibodeau, I need to bring my boys here. You know what I mean? You already had one of them here, last year. Bring him back. Then he went and got his other boy. You know what I mean? And because you know why? He trusts them dudes. He know them cats is battle tested. They are battle tested to the 10th power, whatever. So I like that, and I think that's what gives me confidence against Atlanta is that experience. I think Derrick Rose. I don't think nobody on their team can handle Derrick Rose because they ain't smarter than Derrick Rose.
I agree.
And they ain't gifted to be.
One thing that you said real quick before I forget. I know we talked about when we were talking about Coach D or whatever. We talked about the effect that Chris Paul had on the Suns, but I think what goes understated here is the impact that a Derrick Rose and a Taj Gibson brings because they are familiar with Tibbs' system. So it's not like you have. So it's like almost essentially you got two assistant coaches on the floor reminding you of what the skill set is, what the game plan is, and where you need to be, right? And I think that's important too. And that has had a definite positive impact on the effect that we see on our team right now.
Yeah, no question. Absolutely, man. That experience, man. This experience is the best teachers, man. To have Derrick Rose and the way he closed it out, came in here on fire. You know what I mean? Derrick Rose came in here, he was on fire. I was like, okay, this cat throwing up 20 a game. The 3-point ball looking good. The floater looking good. He banging in the paint when he can, and then his playmaking was phenomenal. So. And now to have him back, Alex Burks back, I'm just ready, man. I'm like, let's go get this shit. I'm ready to get it popping. I can't wait, man. I'm like, yo, we got to get this thing going, man. Nobody know it. I don't want to rush it because that means I'm getting old faster. We be ready. We be ready, man. You know what I mean? But first and foremost, salute to the chat, man. Salute to everybody up in there. Nice. We appreciate you coming on, my brother. I mean, for the love of the game up in the building. Send Nick in the building, man. You already know. Rick V, Worldwide Lawrence in the building. Salute. Worldwide Warren, you already know the deal. For the love of the game, man, y'all go down there and check out that pod, man, and get it popping down there. You know them brothers be putting it in down there, man. So salute to them. Nick, man, in the building. You already know Brooklyn Belly. I see you, my brother. Everybody, man. Salute Tim Smith, Camilio, Prince to Bun. You know, just Rick V, everybody call him out, man. They up in the chat is where it's at. You know, y'all make this thing get popping. So, but yeah, man, we ready, man. If we got to go in here, I'm ready for Sunday. You know, BX, talk to me, brother. I know you got to be juiced. I know you're tired of sitting around looking at some of these playoff games that's not even interesting.
Well, real quick, 99-96 Memphis. They have a chance to ice 8 seconds. Morant missed the first free throw to put them up 4. They're only up 3. They have one more free throw. If he hits it, they'll be up 4 with 8 seconds left. Big free throw for John Morant, and he hit it. So they're up 4 with 8 seconds. It's still 196, 8 seconds. I don't think Spurs has any more timeouts, and they got to go the length of the floor and foul. And it looks so bleak for the Spurs. It looks like their season might come to an end. You know, they were under, man. We saw them in there, and that's the playoffs. I can't wait for our team to be there and go through this ups and downs and the highs. And it's over. It's over. San Antonio has lost. They're going home. They're going back home to the Alamo and regroup. I think I'm personally. I might be. Could it be a Popovich saying goodbye? Wouldn't surprise me if he resigns and Becky Hammond takes over. You never know. You know, if he did, that was a nice career for him. But I just can't wait for us to be talking about the Knicks. You know, enough with these other teams. I know we got to talk about it. We can't be blind about basketball, what's going on around us. You know, we really want to talk about Knicks. And on a side note, I like that shirt there, Sarge. We got to get your Knicks real talk though too. But it's a nice shirt, man.
Man, what's up? Look, I come on your show, and you know I'm not getting the Knicks shirt on club.
Oh boy, I just threw gasoline on fire.
Right. This is what you got to do. You got to take that. You got to take that address of yours, throw it in a private chat to BX or me. I get it, and I get it UPS down to you, my brother, because you know you earned that.
I'm about to do it right. Do it right
now. Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Salute to everybody out there: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. We in here tonight, man. Nick's got a long night, couple of nights off. Normally, I said we got a night off. We got a game tomorrow. That's not the case. We're gonna be off to Sunday. So the Knicks getting ready to get down in the playoffs, man. We here. We made it. You know, we ready to get it popping. You know what I mean? So you know, it's gonna be interesting, man. But we ready. We ready for y'all, man. Ain't no big deal. Let's go get it. Bring a land up in there. Y'all want to, like I said, they last 4 games in the regular season. They was against teams that's going for the lottery. Now we went out against some of the hardest teams in the business, especially the Clippers and the Lakers. So we ready. You know what I mean? Our team has been battle. We ready. You know what I mean? Then we went home. The Spurs were fighting for what they just lost tonight. They would fight for something. You know what I mean? Then we went in the next game. They would fight for something, obviously. And then Boston would fight for something. Though they didn't play all they started, but they still were fighting for something. So, you know, compared to what Atlanta had to go through with Orlando, and I said that earlier with Houston and Wizards twice, they wasn't really tested. So when they come into the Garden Sunday, they're gonna be kind of like shell shocked with that defense hitting the way they hit them, because they've been throwing up buckets against some old. Now they got to go up against the creme de la creme of the defense and the association. Let me see what you got. When Payton body that boy up, I want to see what you got.
Devon, what you said is interesting, and I think that people kind of sell this part of it short. So anytime you go into a conflict, right, there's a certain thing.
Salute.
What there's a certain thing called in the military we call psychological warfare, right? So just to piggyback on the point that you just made, the teams that the Hawks just beat, ending their season, ending their stretch, that may give them the feeling that, you know, I am somebody. I got my stuff together and I'm ready for the playoffs, right? But you go into your, I guess, your build up for the playoffs with that mindset. So you're feeling like you're actually kind of higher than you really are. You know, you in your mind you're here, but in reality you're here. So when you walk into MSG and you step on that court, and from the tip, everything that you practiced for that week, all the work that you did, all the blood, sweat, and tears that you put on the floor trying to prep for the Knicks, you come in that building and you get smacked in the mouth. Okay, you brushed that one off. That was an accident. That was a glancing blow, right? And you come back down and then you get punched in the mouth. Oh, okay, well, now you got my attention. You go down the court and you come back down, and then this is what happens. You start getting body blow after body blow after body blow after. You know what happened when you beat the body, the head gonna die. I'm trying to tell you, that's gonna happen. You can't withstand too many gut punches. I don't care who you are, and it's important what you said, because the opponents that they had, to your point, they have not faced a New York Knicks defense. It hadn't happened.
Yeah, and not only that, the team that's playing the way they playing now. Let's forget about the Knicks that played in the beginning of the season. The way they playing now, and the famous words of Mike Tyson: "Everybody got a game plan until you get punched in the mouth."
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You know what I mean? Everybody got a game plan until you get punched in the mouth. Go ahead, BX.
No, and you remember to that point with the players, that the team that they went down, they went 16-4 in the last 20 games of the season. Remember that what they said after the All-Star break? Oh, the Knicks have the second worst schedule against opponents in the league, and to close that 20-4 with supposedly the worst schedule, the daunting six game road trip that's gonna define them, and they're gonna be in the play-in, barely making the play-in. They're going to be the doom and gloom 6 game road trip. We finished 3-3, and like Randall said, we should have been 5-1, 4-2. And they weren't satisfied with that. So and also like you said, the last softball team that they played was the Rockets. That's it. The rest were all meat and potatoes, playoff playing caliber players, teams. And you saw that they all lost 22 games with actually 3. Excuse me. They lost the Phoenix, the Phoenix, the Denver, and the Lakers game. The rest they beat. Yes, they were all knuckle beaters, and we sweated them out. But then at the end of the game, they got they got it done. They got the job complete, and they've been playing playoff basketball since I say the second half. So they're going to be used to it. I don't think it'll overwhelm them. I don't think they'll get overwhelmed. They won't be too big for them. I think they'll be fine. They'll be focused and ready to go. And salute to How We Move Knicks TV, Ram. I'm glad to see you here. I'll be doing good. And what do you guys think of that 16-4 stretch the Knicks had?
Real quick. Let me plug the show. I can bring the brother Nice to the panel. Nice is gonna be up in the building in a minute. Let me get the plug in. We bring Nice to the panel. Salute to everybody out there, man. We'll be right back. 30 seconds. You already know.
Salute,
Nick,
man.
talk the night show. Salute Divine Bronx at I-76. We got the Sarge in the building. We got G Money. We got the brother Nice up in the building, man. For the love of the game is in the building, man. So salute to everybody out there. Hope everybody doing well. We in here tonight on a night on which we got 4 more to go, man. But whatever, we here, man. It's been a long week for me, man. I'm starting to lose energy. I'm trying to figure out things to do at nighttime. Like, what can I do at night? The Knicks supposed to be on tonight. I'm like, I ain't trying to do nothing around the house. I did everything. I'm thinking about more stuff than I could ever think of, man. But it's good, man. It's crazy, bro. But it's good for the Knicks. Not good for us, but good for the Knicks. They get to go over everything, man. They get to do some executing, studying, film, practice, rest. Shooters getting more rhythm. Manuel quickly about to get more rhythm. You know, Burke's coming back off that COVID. He about to get more rhythm. So it's gonna be on, man. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to this weekend, man. It's gonna be a fire. It's gonna be a fire starting happening this Sunday. Knicks, MSG gonna be on fire, fellas. You already know it's gonna be buzzing up in that piece, man. But I'm gonna be home buzzing with him, man. But nice, Lou. How you doing tonight, my brother?
Loving life. Every single time is just getting better and better. How's everybody in the family? And how's everybody in the
good.
Salute, man. Salute. Glad you're here, bro.
Just chatting Knicks. Chatting Knicks, watching Warriors and Lakers. By the way, Warriors up 8 early, and Curry getting double and triple team right now.
Damn.
Gotta change it over there now.
Yeah, right.
I have a weird feeling. I know we're talking about the Knicks, but I want to make this quick point. I got the Warriors tonight. What do you guys think? I just have a weird feeling.
I got the Warriors.
Yeah, me too.
I think the Warriors too.
Really?
G-Man, why are you taking the obvious? You know the Warriors looking too good, bro.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you something. And people underestimate or underrate the ability for a team to get together and play team ball. Right? When you got guys that's been out for extended periods of time, that throws the chemistry off on your team. Mm-hmm. So you know, once you get used to somebody, and they kind of get used to the way you play the game, when they know when a certain play develops, they know what you're thinking. They know where you're going to go. They know how you like the ball. They know, depending on if you're getting double team, triple team, whatever the case may be, they know you. Mm-hmm. So regardless of if you're the star on the team or not, if you're not present, then we're not playing your style of basketball. So you come back 1 game or 2 games before we start this play-in or whatever we're doing and expect for us to just automatically gel with what you got going on. It doesn't happen that way. I'm sorry. It just does not happen that way. Right. The Warriors are like the Knicks on the West Coast right now, right? Everybody's counting them out because you got AD and LeBron out there, right? You got Kawhi and Paul George out there. You got all these names out there on the West Coast that no one is giving the little engine that could a chance. But Steph Curry, that dude right there,
he's the best point guard in the NBA.
He is, without a doubt. And every night he goes to bed, this is what he's saying. Mm-hmm. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And you best believe tonight you're about to see it. You heard me?
Well, it's early
I think the Lakers going home.
Well, the Lakers aren't gonna go home yet. They get to play. They get to play now in Memphis. So well, the loser. Let me finish spitting the words out of my mouth. If the loser gets to play them, yeah. Absolutely.
And the Grizzlies are hungry, though. I think the Lakers or Warriors would beat the Grizzlies, but that would be a battle on Friday. That would be a battle.
So right now, it seems like they're just gonna be beating up the Lakers from here on out, because we're not talking about home court advantage. We're talking about they're gonna be traveling to every place from here on out. Mm-hmm. And if they prove themselves this year is not like last year. So if they prove themselves this year, hey, they a beast. I don't even like Lakers, but at the end of the day, I'll take off my hat for them if that's the case.
I agree with you.
Give them all the love. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna speak it into existence. The Lakers will be playing the Grizzlies for that number 8 seed.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Ooh, man.
I'm just saying.
Signed that extension and they don't get to the play.
Oh my God! LeBron is missing air balls. They hit the back of the side of the rim. Not enough time. Not enough time for them to gel and to get into their playoff legs in there. I agree with you.
And you know who else gonna have that same problem? Quiet as kept. Them guys across the bridge. They don't see it coming yet. They are not a well-oiled machine right now. And
But
when
the
they
only,
get that first round,
Mhm.
here we go.
but the only advantage that they have is that they have a home court advantage. So
That's
is
true.
a
True.
is a little bit different because one thing is that all right, you're not playing with your A game, but
Hmm.
at the end of the day, you're gonna have pretty much a fan trying to rile you up, and that might kick in momentum. So
Right.
there's even team just like I always said, like there's even team that they never be showing up throughout the season.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Brooklyn, they already shown it, but to maintain it, if we had like another 10 or 12 games, that would have been questionable.
Right.
But now we'll start seeing if they are a true caliber team once we see the playoff or the postseason. Because look what happened with Milwaukee. A lot of people keep on saying, "Well, no, because Giannis he's still a beast, bro. He keeps on folding every single time he gets to the postseason."
Yep.
So it doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, there's a player that has it and there's a player that doesn't have it. Look what happened to LeBron on the beginning of the season. Every single time he made it to the postseason, for some reason it felt like he could never get off that hump. What he ended up doing? He ended up going to Dwayne Wade team, and he
Miami.
actually got out of that hump. But sometimes you actually do need that. How
I
you
agree.
guys gonna see Milwaukee, let's say, getting off that hump?
I don't see it either. I think Milwaukee will lose to Miami this series. I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's gonna go probably 7. I can
Mhm.
see Miami winning it, and I can see I know we're talking Knicks centric, but we're gonna talk about the NBA playoffs
Absolutely,
around there.
absolutely.
We gotta totally not be totally blind about that. But I one thing about the Lakers, if they do make it to the finals, I'm gonna give a hats off to them because they're not because they won last year. Remember, they didn't have to travel; they stood in a
Yeah.
bubble.
It
Yeah.
was in a bubble.
Western Conference, you got a lot of different teams in different cities with high altitudes,
Yeah.
up and
Oh,
down, low altitude. That takes effect and that
Yeah.
travel. That's a big part of the Western Conference playoff and traveling. Going into Utah is high elevated. If you go to Denver or if
Mhm.
you have a road trip to Portland, all of those cities, it's a lot of up and down, high altitude. And if they do that, like you said, I will give my hats off to the Lakers as well.
Mhm.
With that, and go ahead, Divine.
Yeah, real quick. If the Lakers get knocked off, who becomes the favorite to you guys?
It's between Denver and Suns. I'm gonna call
in
it.
the
I'm
West.
gonna call it.
To me, between Milwaukee and Brooklyn, that just me or
No, no,
Philly.
no. We talking about one side or we
Are you
talking
talking
about
the
No,
West?
No,
The
I'm just
West,
talking about the one
Western
side. The
Conference.
West
the
Western
Coast.
West,
Conference.
and
West
to me, around Phoenix for me. Phoenix.
yeah.
I don't believe in Portland. Denver, if they were healthy, I would have put them there, but they're not healthy right now. And the Clippers, I don't believe in them. So if the Lakers lose early, maybe the Suns.
I said my prediction was the Clippers. My dark horse is Portland. I know they don't play defense, but I just think that Portland got enough firepower down there.
Oh yeah.
They can they can compete with anybody
They don't
firepower
lack
wise.
it.
I think
They
defense.
don't have IQ, man. They
And then
don't have
like I said,
IQ.
when Dane Livingston went to the I think just because of the way what's his name McCullum playing this year. McCullum playing out his mind this year. You know what I mean? So I think they got a really really good chance to do something. And I think with the acquisition of with my man um
Norman Powell.
no, not only Powell, but my boy we used to play with Philly. The 3-and-D, my man, Covington. With Robert Covington, now they brought some dogs there to play with them. Nolan Powell, the dog. Robert Covington is a dog. Them cats, and they got my man used to play with Miami last year, the Leaping brother Jones. So I think Melo I just think they got a chance to go in there and compete against anybody. They got this. First of all, they got experience. I think that Melo been there before. They ain't been trying to get there. McCullough been there. That's gonna be interesting. Enos Cantor gonna give you some. That's a scary team right there if they can get it together. But I think the Clippers might come out there with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I'm gonna pick them.
I'm thinking now. I think they're going to be
So,
done in the second round. There, Sarge.
so this is what I'm gonna say. And I'm always that dude that's gonna make people when I say stuff make people scratch their head like, what is he smoking? He must be on some good stuff. He on that ooh wee right now. I'm telling you, he on that ooh wee.
I
But
don't believe in the Blazers. Listen. I said it a million times for the Blazers. Other than the Rockets and Thunder series, Dame has not played that well in the playoffs. CJ, he's only had one dominant series versus the Nuggets. Other than that, you can't name me a series in which he balled out. We gotta
100%.
look at use eye test though. Dame shoots
100%.
40% in the playoffs. Not good. CJ got his butt kicked by Nikola Mirotic before. And Draymond Green outplayed his butt in the Western Conference Final. Again, Dame and CJ had help before in the playoffs. Check the 2019 playoffs. Seth Curry was hitting shots. Myers Leonard was having 30-point games. Ronnie Hood hit a game-winning three. So let's not act if they play with bumps because they haven't.
Yeah.
Look, the Blazers, I don't see the Blazers going far. They'll beat the Nuggets and should beat the Nuggets, but I don't think they'll get past the second round. The Suns, to me, is the best team that could come out the West if the Lakers lose early because the Suns have the depth, they have great defense, and a very good coach. And you have Chris Paul, who's one of the most smart, high IQ players in the NBA that can defend and can hit the clutch shot.
Yep.
Lakers
Yep.
down 4 now. They were down 11.
Yeah, let G Man was about to chime in before you came in, but he was about to go. But go ahead, G Man. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So all these people and all these players y'all talking about, irrelevant. All of them, irrelevant. Every one of them, because I'm gonna tell you who
Joker
is the favorite. Yeah, irrelevant. I'm gonna tell you who's the favorite in the West right now. The Jazz. The Jazz. I don't know how y'all not talking about Utah Jazz. How are we
I
not
have to
talking
see
about
to believe in Utah. I have to see to believe it.
I was just waiting for me to for my point to come across, but I was letting y'all talk. You know, I don't like to interrupt.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I apologize.
The Utah Jazz. We're not talking about the Jazz. We're talking about a Lakers team that is struggling trying to make it into the play-in right now. Really? And we're not talking about the Utah Jazz. What are we talking about?
I'm going to hold my comments so that I won't interrupt you. So just keep going, Sergeant.
Keep going, man. The Jazz got to show me something. I don't know. This is the same team that blew a 3-1 lead in the first.
In the West. What else they need to show you?
Doesn't matter. I don't see how the Jazz are going for it, man. It doesn't matter. The Atlanta Hawks are the best record in the Eastern Conference. How'd that turn out? Conference finals against the Cavs. The Atlanta Hawks 2015. I'm talking about 2015. They won 60 games, looked dominant like this, and choked.
I think we can. I think we got to get off the what they did 4 or 5 years ago. I think that's irrelevant.
My point I'm saying is that other than Donovan Mitchell, who's going to be consistent enough for the Jazz in the playoffs? Other than Donovan Mitchell.
I think you can look at Jordan Clarkson. I think you could look at
the big
Mike
man.
Conley. Yeah, you got Mike Conley. You know what? Because it's about the matchup. Sometimes it all depends who you run up against. It doesn't necessarily mean because you don't have this or that. If the people said the Knicks wasn't going to be what they was until you ramped up on them. You know what I mean? It's not about what talent you have. It's who you play at that time. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you catch a team they can't handle what you got, and I just think that I don't really get caught up in what they did 4 or 5 years ago. Damian Lillard to this year and McCullough this year, not Damian Lillard 4 years ago. That's all I'm trying to say. 2 years ago, matter of fact, or last year, they went home and that's why they 6th and 5th in the Western Conference because they got better. They went and got better players. Last year they didn't have Robert Covington. They didn't have a lot of guys they got now. You know what I mean? So I think you got to throw what they did in the past out the window. That's all I'm saying. The Knicks were 21 wins last year. They 41 this year. So I don't really get caught up in what they. Yeah, you know what I mean? You can't get caught up in that.
So the only reason I would not say the Jazz is because the same way I'd be looking at Blazers and pretty much 76ers. Is two different animals during the postseason. Is a different animal with the Knicks, and this is the only reason I don't count the Knicks out. Knicks wasn't here last year, so they hungry. You know, they hungry. You could they even mentioned that there's 2 teams, and I give props to the NBA TV and ESPN. They switching pretty much their prediction, and they betting pretty much everything between the Heats and the Knicks. They already said it. Like, in other words, like, be careful with these 2 teams because these 2 teams right now, they hungry. They're not the same from last year, and we could see it because they wasn't in the same conversation that the Jazz was last year. Now, the only thing with the Jazz that I wouldn't persuade count them off, or I wouldn't be adding them as well, is because it's two different sides of the story. At the end of the day, now we in the playoffs. So now let's see if that momentum keeps going with them. Now, Tibbs, I feel that the main reason Tibbs he never changed something with the Knicks is so that once we start going to the playoff, nothing changes. So there's no
Right.
reason and there's no excuse that we're gonna be playing different. Look what happened on the last game. The last game, everybody was complaining why Alfred Payton is still playing. He doesn't want to change nothing, you know. He doesn't want to change nothing. But at the same time, it's kind of questionable that I heard that there was a source that came out saying that Lucas is coming through on this Friday. So I don't know. That might be something like, hey, the Knicks is gonna be in it for to win it. So if they could get away with the chemistry, and chemistry is not gonna be a factor because everything is gonna gel as soon that he comes in. I'm pretty sure he's gonna test it out with 2 minutes because we gotta be honest with ourselves. Like relying on Alfred Payton, imagine if we on a game 5 with D Rose is gonna be out of the wood. That's it. Like after 2 games playing back to back, close to 30 to 40 minutes, it's not gonna be the same on the 3rd game and so on. It's gonna take a toll on him. So I don't know. It might be one of those that if Luka comes in and they could manage to get away with it. Hey, I just see that they in it to they going for the kill. They going for the kill. They not going to leave everything for next season. Yeah, we already know that we got far, but let's play all our chips in let's put all our chips in play.
I second that. I agree with you 100%, man, because I think the Knicks going all in. And from the beginning of the season, outside the actual team itself, them the one believe they was playing for something. They said we going. Y'all might be talking about we having a what they say when you overachieve. They didn't think that.
That's right.
RJ Barrett, now we know what we had this going in from the beginning of the season. We felt we were going to be here. We had the place we wanted to go. And you know, we the ones on the outside might have thought they was overachieving, you know what? But they didn't think that, bro. They thought they was going, and like Julius Randle said, even when we clinched a 4th, he said we not done yet.
That's right.
You know, yeah. He said we not done yet. You know what I mean? That tells me like, man, they got bigger expectations than we do.
Yep.
You know? They got bigger expectations than we do, man. So let's go get it, bro. Let's get it, man.
Why do you think that throughout this whole season, since the season started, our pretty much the whole argument was that we missing a point guard. We missing a point guard. All right, we got Derrick Rose, but we're not going to be relying on him, let's say 30 to 40 minutes. We need a point guard. And throughout the whole season, we managed to get away with it without a point guard. And all of a sudden, you think that all this is only coincidence? I don't know. I have a hunch that's telling me that they just found out that this is the best moment and we going in for the kill. So if that's the case, it's going to be dangerous. Because imagine if the Knicks was dangerous now, and now all of a sudden during the playoff, all right, you guys always say that we needed a point guard. Here you go. And he plays even above expectation.
Yep.
I'm telling you, these people is going to realize that a train hit them without them actually even seeing the train coming forward towards them.
No, one thing I'm gonna piggyback off of that. You don't have a scouting report now. You don't have a team having a scouting report or how it works with the team. You can't prepare. The element of surprise. That's why I said they have something rolled up their sleeves. Especially when the trading deadline came and passed and they didn't do any move, they could have upgraded. They could even bought in to take a flyer on Isaiah Thomas to come in and see if he gives you something on a point guard. They didn't bring in. They were talking about chemistry issue. I think they had this guy stashed. They had this guy watched. They let him play out in the Euro League. They kept an eye on him, and I think he'll be in here. I think he'll make an impact because I didn't see the NBA schedule if they're going to give the Knicks a back-to-back playoff game. I haven't seen the full. I only seen game 1 the schedule there. But you know that being because you don't want to see Rose on a back-to-back. You know you want to have them get that proper rest in between, get him fresh because we know he's going to be playing the majority point guard minutes the second half. So we know that we want to keep him sharp and fresh and ready to go. And hopefully remember they went 16-4 in 20 games with Alfred Payton as their point guard. They went 41 and 31 with Alfred Payton as their point guard. I mean, he's not the sexy, he's not the greatest, he's not the flashes. He didn't give us what we wanted. But hey, look at the record. Like Parcell says, you are what your record says.
Yeah,
so it is.
Look,
You know,
Hey,
so
real quick, you chime in, Serge, real quick. Check this out, though. What's interesting about the Luka Dozier thing? If he come here, that's why I want the Knicks to get and win in 5. If they can get the Hawks in 5, and I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Mark my word. Write this down. Y'all heard me say this on Knicks Real Talk. If the Knicks get the Hawks and go against, and they get the rest before we start that Philly series, Mitchell Robinson will be back.
Ooh.
They saving Mitchell Robinson for Joe Embiid. Now, mark my word, Mitchell Robinson will be back. If the Knicks get to the second round, Money Mitch coming back to that team. They need that body. I could see it coming. I could see it coming, bro. And you know what? He had an ankle sprain. It wasn't a broken foot.
Yeah.
You know that real. So you know that heals in 6 weeks. He's been out almost 2 months.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't. That wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it past me if you know. And like you said, Nice. They going for it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I think he will come back because they going for it. And I think we believe it or not, I think the Knicks got a good shot too. I think they got a good shot, man.
Even let's say a step further. If we're gonna rely between Luka or D Rose, there's no question we're gonna rely on D Rose. What's the best way we're gonna rely on D Rose? Making sure that he's always fresh. And there's no way we could keep maintaining D Rose being fresh, having him running 30 to 40 minutes when we actually need to win a game. You know, it's not going to work out. So all this, I don't know who's the master plan, doing all these type of movement, but it feels like, man, they made everything in perfection because just like you said about Mitchell Robinson, I'm not counting him out. I'm not counting even Luke. I'm not counting all these movement out of the game. But at the same time, it can't not be coincidence that all these movements started happening like 2 or 3 weeks before, let's say, the playoffs started.
Yep,
it can't. It just can't.
Yeah, because they could have waited to the off season to bring in Luka in here.
Exactly.
You know, they didn't. There was no urgency. There was no need. They could have used the roster spot for someone like we said back again, not to sound like broke record, like an Isaiah Thomas or you know any out there point guard that out there that could have came in and bought in and using an NBA ready caliber player in on this team. They bought him from a guy from overseas. You know, so obviously they had some scouts out there. They had something going on out there. They kept an eye on him. They had a deal. They thought about it. You know, they were just working the kinks out of it. You know, wait for the league to finish. The buy. You know, how much they was to buy out his contract. You know, what's guaranteed, what's not guaranteed, and then everything is ready to come in. And also the COVID protocols. If they were able to get in here, if he's able to travel, what's it going to take? And XYZ plays a part of that. And I think that they had a plan on that. They had that think about it and. You know, that hopefully it shows it to fruition. Hopefully he comes in here and plays and you know, balls out. And you know, what's scary if he has a really good playoff and he helps and going to next year with that confidence. Next year he's eligible for Rookie of the Year. You know, and just think of that. You know,
you know something. There's 3 key points that whenever I start questioning if this cat is real, I always repeat this. All right, so there was one main player that actually persisted, telling the team, "Get him."
Oh yeah.
You guys know who this player is? Kobe Bryant. Before he actually died, he told even Lakers, "Hey, get this dude."
Yes,
Number
absolutely.
2, you guys remember the Denver series? I mean, not the Denver series, but the fight that we had against the Denver. There was a cat there.
Capasso.
Oh man, I hated that dude. But I was saying to myself, like, man, it would have been perfect because the way he plays, it's not that he's talented, is that he doesn't give up in plays. And there's a lot of comparison in Argentina that out of the 3 Argentinians that, let's say, the NBA has, Luka is the best one, the best prospect. So if that's another one, and I like what I see with Campasso, it makes me even feel even much good. And number 3, hey, didn't he got MVP in the League of Spain when he went to the final?
Yep.
So
absolutely.
What else is there for us to let's say question ourselves if this dude is the real thing?
Yeah, that's why I think they didn't make. Yeah, I want Sarge to chime in for a minute, real quick. That's why I think the Knicks didn't do that at the trading deadline. I think they had his eye on him. I think like BX said, I think they had his eye on that cat. They said we got who we want. I think the Knicks was up on that train for a minute. Because if they wasn't, they would have made some moves. Go ahead, Sarge.
So all valid points, right? And I won't dispute any of them because you guys are spot on. But I will pile on. I got my shovel out, so I'm throwing a little bit more. Just I want to put something on your mind right, real quick, right? So think about this. Timing is everything. And a lot of times there are situations and circumstances put in our path that we can't overcome. The only thing we have to do, we have to adjust and then make whatever that adjustment is match what the original plan was. Luka, we've been talking about Luka for weeks now. And, the talk went away. Everybody forgot about Luka. They thought, he won't be here. He's got to go through this. He got to go through that. He's got to do the buyout. And we don't expect to see him to next season, whatever the case may be. Think about this right here. Think about the impact that Derrick Rose had when he arrived in New York City. How long was Derrick Rose in New York City before he was on the court?
The same day or two, yeah.
2 days. 2 days. Mm-hmm. And Derrick Rose was on the court taking names. He was kicking butt and taking names, right? Mm-hmm. He was like, I'm here. I got my Knicks uniform on again, and I'm giving you notice. Notice has been served. Like the what do you call them people that bring the summons by? Hey, G-Man, you've been served. What? What? You caught me coming out of the bathroom. Stop playing with me right now.
Let me wash my hands.
Exactly. But that's how I see Luka, right? And the same thing you guys talked about when you talked about Mitch. Now, right now, the only thing the teams can plan for is what our roster is as currently constructed. Mm-hmm. They are game planning against us based on what they've seen on the floor. They have not seen Luka on the floor. They have not seen Mitch on the floor.
Mitch, yep.
They have not seen the mad scientist who's in the lab right now cooking up. He got that witch's brew, and he in there cooking up, just adding spices and all this other bat wings and snake eyes and all this other stuff, just stirring it up, right? Right. That's Tom Thibodeau. He got a game plan for you, baby, and you don't even see it coming. So you think about his game. You're not gonna say. Think about his game plan, and then think about these outside entities that could come in and be a major factor in what we got going on. And I'm not saying they're gonna come in and play major minutes. I'm not saying that. You don't have to play major minutes, but you can come in and be an impactful player in 5 minutes of play. 5 minutes of play is all it takes. Think about what Noel did in his last game. Mm-hmm. How many blocks he had? He had like 5 blocks in 1 quarter of basketball. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's game changing, right? I don't care who you are. That's game changing. Because that's going to force you to be like, okay, well, I'm not going back down the middle no more because I don't want to be on dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I don't want to be there. I'm not going back down there. I'm going to stand out here and jump. I'm just we have – this is a great problem to have because we have options. And as long as we have options, we are never defeated. More importantly, our team has the mindset that says we are never defeated. Even if we're down 17 points in the third quarter, I don't care. We still got a chance because there's still time on the clock, and I still got my brethren with me on the bench. And when we get this thing going, we can beat anybody. And I tell you that we ain't scared. We ain't never scared. How about that? Right there, put that on the t-shirt. We ain't never scared.
Hey, shocking our Sunday. Somebody's gonna have an impact in that game you won't believe, and I think it's gonna be Frank Ntilikina. Mark my word.
You know what?
Frank gonna get a defense stop in that game. I don't care if it's that one play. Just one play. I think Frank gonna come in there and he gonna get a defense stop to do something in that game. I think Alfred Payton better be careful, bro. I think Tibbs trying to feel Frank a little bit.
Cornerstone must be smiling somewhere.
He is. I'm sure he is. I would not disagree, but this is what I'm going to say, and I say it every game, and eventually, if I say it long enough, eventually I'm going to be right. Eventually, I will be right. But my boy, the Rook from the Brook, will be impacted during these playoffs. I'm telling you right now. And people, all these nays, I'm telling you, look, where's my book at? I got my little black book, right? Hold on. Where's my book at? Let me get my book. I got my little black book. And this little black book right here got all the receipts in there, all them naysayers talking about my man Obi-Wan. And once it happens, I'm gonna be on somebody's platform, and I'm calling all receipts in everybody. So well, I say all that to say this: you got time to get on the right side of this argument, right? So if you want to continue to bash my boy Obi, stay on that side of the track. But just know, when I come for you, I'm coming for you with both barrels, baby. I'm just saying. So be ready. Be ready. It ain't gonna be personal. It's gonna be business.
Hey, BX, who gonna be a fact up in that piece Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be quickly. I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off your point with Obi Toppin. He's been hanging out. I've been saying it behind the 3-point line, not going in, not attacking. The last 5 to 7 games, he's been crashing the boards. He is going to go use his athleticism and his ups, and he's gonna get a lot of putbacks. If they have missed shots, he's gonna be a beast on the glass. They didn't unleash him because I didn't think they want to put a scouting report. Once again, I'm thinking they don't want to put a scouting report. Element of surprise. They know what this kid could do. They wanted him to develop the shooting the ball, getting in rhythm, because they know he could go and crash the boards and use his athleticism to dunk and pretty much jump over any point guard, any guard, and really dunk over their heads. So I think Obi Toppin is going to have a Marcus Camby type of impact in 1999. Crashing the boards, going offensive putbacks, and it's gonna be a match nightmare for any team, especially the Hawks. But my main guy that's gonna light it up is gonna be Emmanuel Quickly. He is gonna have 17 points. He's gonna have, because that kid every year from AAU to all the way to high school, college, he's been getting better and better and better. I've been watching his documentary. I wanted to make a video with him on his growth, and he just keeps getting better and better and better. And you know what? It's scary because he's only just touching the surface in the NBA now. And I think he's a fine, one all NBA rookie team. And I think he's only going to get even more better. And I think this is going to be a coming out with him. He has ice water in his veins, and I think Emmanuel Quickly is going to be option number 3 for the New York Knicks. Scoring wise, I think he's going to have a huge impact on the whole playoffs, and we're going to be like, what a steal, what a steal, what a steal. Right?
Yeah, I agree too. My man Alex Burks, for me, I think Alex Burks going to bring it in the playoffs. I'll go with Alex Burks. I think Alex Burks going to get up and get in there.
Yep. I agree, and that's the name we hadn't brought up. And I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, I'm missing somebody. That's who it is right there, Alex Burks. Because that dude right there, man, he is one of those players that people kind of undersell him. Cause people when people do that, they think about they start bringing up all these negative things. Well, he was out with COVID. He didn't play this. He didn't play that. He was traded from this team or that. I don't care about none of that. All that is irrelevant to me. What's relevant to me right now is he's a New York Knick. Now think about what I think about when I think about Alec Burke is this. Before he went out, Tom Thibodeau had him running point guard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He was bringing the ball up the floor, orchestrating the offense, and it was working. These guys were actually putting points on the board. People forget about that. Look, Knicks fans, I love them. I'm one of them, but we got some short memories. I'm telling you. Our memories about that short. I'm telling
Absolutely.
You got to go back and think about, what we have done to get us to this point. Every step of the way is important. You can't
go back, ask Kevin Knox, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So look, even something else.
No, the good one. Absolutely. That was a good one, Knight.
So even something as significant as injuries play an important role as to how we got to where we are right now. Because when these injuries came into play, the next man up was forced to come in and do a job, right? Mm-hmm. So that tells you right then. So if I'm asking you to step up in a certain situation and you're able to do that, that means I can trust you if we're in a playoff situation and I want to game plan a specific play just for you. Because if I bring you off the bench with, say, a minute left to play in the game, and I'm confident that you can knock down the shot of what I'm going to set you up for, you run off that screen, and I'm going to that's a play for you, I'm confident you can make that play. That's why it's important. And people, look, man, I'm ready for Sunday. I'm just ready
Me
for
too,
Sunday.
bro.
I
You ain't
feel
never
like
lying, bro. For
I feel
real.
like the Super Bowl coming right now. Come stop playing with me.
Oh,
I'm ready.
nice. Who your X factor? Talk to me.
So, man, you guys make it hard because Alex Berg. One of the good thing about Alex Berg is his sufficiency. Like he be showing it back to back to back. IQ is my favorite player, but I don't know the last game or so. I'm rooting for RJ. I'm rooting for
Me too.
RJ.
Okay.
I second that one.
Like if he continues doing what he did on the last game, share the ball, like man, it just felt it felt wonderful seeing that last game because everybody was sharing the ball. Now somebody mentioned in the group chat that be careful on the third or fourth quarter because they already see that what is it, RJ, he's already having a hot hand, and after that they won't even pass it to him. And I felt like nah, it can't be, and it's true. They stopped passing it. So I just hope that they don't have the mentality that whoever is hot, no, I gotta outshine them. No, that it's not about you. It's not about just one individual. It's about the whole team. So whoever is hot, I don't care if it's Quickly, RJ, Randall, Frank Ntilikina, or even Knox. At the end of the day, is a team game, and you cannot win a team game if you play that selfish type of game. So at the end, all three, like at the end of the day, like all three is a good option, but you never see RJ coming out of the bench. So I just hope that I'm going to root on RJ because if
me too.
If
I
he
tell you what though, man, that real quick, that Reggie Bullock and Bogdanovich matchup is gonna be the key to me. If Reggie Bullock do what he been doing against all them small forwards in the league this year, if he shut that boy down, that season is over in 5.
Yeah,
literally, it's over.
Yeah.
I need Reggie to come through for like he's been doing all year. He been shutting down the best wings in the business. That's the matchup I'm watching for. That Reggie Bullock matchup. We need Reggie to do his thing, boy. Because if we stop, but we get Bogdanovich, then it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I think it's a wrap.
You know, the guy that I think that people pay too much attention to, I won't say that. Let me rephrase. Because people pay attention to words that you say without the meaning behind the words. So let me rephrase my statement. I believe that people put too much emphasis on Trae Young, right? Trae Young is, I don't want to call him gimmicky, but his skill set allows him to generate fouls. And that's his superpower. So if we're doing Marvel comics or we're doing Justice League or whatever it is, because I know all you guys do comics, right? I know you do. You ain't got to tell me because we all big kids at heart. I understand. You know what I'm saying? So what I would tell you is this. His superpower is being able to draw the foul and get guys in foul trouble. So once you get somebody in foul trouble, you got to change the game because you don't want to foul out the game. You want to be available at the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
So that's what he does. So I say Trae Young. See, there you go, Cap. So I would say let Trae Young be who Trae Young is going to be, and we shut down everybody else. Because at that point, when Trae Young gets in the paint, Trae Young versus Nerlens Noel, I take that matchup every day, all day. Every day, all day. Nobody needs to go down there and help him. Keep stepping your little lightweight butt in the paint and thinking that you got something for. Come on, Nerlens Noel. No, but everybody else around the perimeter, we shut them down and keep them from being open for that shot right there. And I think that's how we get this series. But again,
that's why I brought up that Frank thing. That's why I brought up the Frank thing. Frank plays my man good. Because first of all, Frank got long arms, he's savvy, and Frank can give him 6 fouls and give him 6 good ones too. Give him 6 good ones too.
Divine, you must be in my head right now because I'm telling you this right now. I understand this is not the '90s basketball team, basketball league, and how we play ball back in the day. But everybody on that team got 6 fouls to give. So guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to put you in the game, and I'm gonna tell you to go out there. I need 6 good fouls. Don't give me no ticky tack. I need 6 good fouls. You know what I'm saying? 6 good ones. So I'm telling you something. You might be overzealous and come down in the paint one time, boom, and get bumped. Okay, you might be. And the second time you come down, you're gonna think about that because that hurt a little bit. I got a little twinge in my side right now. So the next time I come down, I might hesitate a little bit, and try to switch something up, and then I get bumped again. Oh, okay, that hurt real bad because then I ran. I'm 150 pounds soaking wet, and I ran up against a 265-pound man. No, I'm not doing that. That's like putting your hand inside a crocodile's mouth. Who does that? Ain't nobody doing that. Look, this game is going to be physical because in the playoffs, the referees put the whistles in their pocket, and they're going to let you play ball. So the key thing that we have not talked about thus far is Mr. Randall. And with Julius Randle, my concerns are this. When Randall does not get calls the way he thinks he should get calls, he kind of goes outside of his mind a little bit, right?
Yeah,
he starts complaining to the refs, has the potential to get technical fouls or whatever the case may be. And the team watches that, right? So they feel like if the leader of the team is able to go to the refs and complain about this, that, and the third, then I'm able to do that too. Hence, R.J. Barrett, technical foul. What is he doing? Complaining to the ref. We don't need that.
Don't need that.
Understand the way the game is played. That's number one. You know right off the bat if the refs are going to let you play. You know right off the bat if you're going to get the calls or not. And you have to play the game accordingly. Let all the rest of that crap go. That's not even important. And we on the court, we playing basketball. It's like being on the playground or on the blacktop, right? Ain't no refs out there with no whistle. If I call a foul, and they're like, oh, there ain't no foul. So guess what? Either you gonna give me the foul or you're not. I gotta suck it up and move on. So once that happens, though, I know what it is. So when you come on my end of the court and the same play happens and you get the same treatment, don't call no foul. Because guess what? We just playing basketball, baby. Yeah. That's all. And that's how they have to address this game. That's how I have to
let Thibodeau do that. Let Thibodeau be the one arguing at the refs. You just play your game. You know what I mean?
Let him play your game.
Let Tibbs do that. You know what I mean? That's what he's good at. Tibbs be like, yo, man, what the fuck you ain't call that call? Tibbs be wilding, bro. I love that dude, yo. He got that adrenaline in him, man. He got the mindset for New York City. He'd be like, man, what's wrong with you? Didn't you see? You just called that down there, but you didn't call it up here. He don't miss a beat, though. He don't miss a beat, man. I tell you.
You gotta tell people, look, let Tibbs be on the sideline throwing baby powder all over the stadium. Let him do
that. Didn't they actually mention that in the how do you call it, in one broadcast that hey, Tibbs has his arm open, and whenever he has his arm open, it's not for a hug, it's because he's arguing.
That's the head coach right there.
Yes, sir, bro.
Real quick, it's a little bit off topic, but I think we're all New Yorkers at heart. Corey Kluber threw a no-hitter for the New York Yankees against the Texas Rangers, 2-0. Yes, sir. Man. Yes, sir.
Yeah. They scary with him and Brent Cole and them, Garrett Cole and them. Good God Almighty, boy. They make it there, it's gonna be a wrap.
Love me
some I'm gonna be breaking that down in Bronx Jedi Sports Talk pretty soon, and maybe tomorrow.
And real quick, off topic too, I just want to ask you guys this: the New York Giants traded Brandon Ingram. I see that. I see that they said that he somebody. It was on one of these platforms. Y'all look into that because I'm like, they said the Giants traded Brandon Ingram for something, and they just picked up Calvin Benjamin used to play for
but he made him a tight end. He's a tight end.
He's a tight end.
Right. But I heard that they got rid of Brandon Ingram and something about cap relief or something. I don't know. So y'all look into that for me, man. I just don't want to throw no hyperbole out there. I don't know if it's true, but I just heard it. I just wanted, if y'all hear about that, let me know. Because I'm like, whoa, they let Brandon Ingram go. Because he's about due for a contract anyway. You know what I mean?
He is.
So,
let me look.
Wow. And that's like, wow, they let him go.
No, he's still on the roster. He's still on the roster. If they were to trade him, they would have done it in this draft season. You get a draft pick and you draft. You won't. Why trade him after the draft? NFL draft makes no sense. Then you lose the whole season. Get another season out of the guy. It didn't make sense. Yeah. No. And I heard good things about a little bit quick off topic that with the Giants. A lot of the players are going into the volunteering camps, rookie camps. They had a very good rookie camp They had a mini camp. It was really good, encouraging. They bought an that's where Kyle Benjamin came in. Even though the Players Association, the union didn't like it, they want hey, you guys don't need to come, but the guys want to be there. They want to get into Joe Judge. They want to buy into his system. And look at both of these football teams in New York. Everyone they see the success for the Knicks, and everybody wants to want to be coach. They want to get bring in and follow the narrative. And they want that. And you can see the same thing with that grittiness all around with the New York Mets. They're gritty. Next man up. The guys goes injured. They got 13 men on the injured list, and they keep bringing up guys from the minors, and they coming in there and they're showing their grittiness and their toughness. So all around New York City is being impacted with this grittiness from the Knicks. They're captivating the city and is rubbing off on the other teams. I know they're all different sports, but that same mentality of next man up. Let's get it. Let's work together as a team. Put our egos to the side and go forward. The only team that you don't see that is the Brooklyn Nets. We don't know why they got all their stars, and they're gonna have a lot of questions too. Can James Harden exercise those ghosts of the playoff path? Can
No.
Kevin Durant hold up physically? And
No.
And where is Kyrie Irving's head in this whole situation? And the one guy I think is going to be impactful for them, an unsung hero. I know this is a near trio talk, but we're talking a little basketball, a little bit of everything now. I think it's going to be Blake Griffin. I think Blake Griffin, he's like been a revelation for the Brooklyn Nets. He might be the glue that might hold these guys together going forward. Who knows what he has left there? I think Boston's a good matchup for them because they don't have that front court presence, and he's playing that center position. That's going to be a quick amount. So Brooklyn might have a tough. I think they're going to have a tough matchup with Boston. I think they're going to beat them, of course, but I think it's going to be a tough matchup. It's not going to be a cakewalk like everyone thinks it is. I heard Steve Nash's interview on FAN earlier this morning. I didn't like what he said. I had it written, but I have my notes somewhere else about what he said, and it kind of was an eye-puzzling and eye-raising situation with that. That they don't have it. There's players that never played with everybody together. They got to learn on the floor how to play and gel and Max Ray. I'm like, that's the wrong time to do it, guys. In the playoff against an experienced Boston Celtic team, that's gonna despite the fact that they're missing Brown, but the Celtics are battle tested playoff wise. And they might squeak away with that, but man, that's a tough situation narrative there. Go ahead, G-Man.
So just to piggyback on what you said, BX, and I think it's important the fact that you said that when Nash is talking about a team that has not had the opportunity to gel on the floor, right? What you're going up against, so that's on his side of the floor. But the opponent that you're facing is a hungry team that has nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose at all. Nobody is giving them a chance to beat the Nets. Nobody is thinking that the Boston Celtics could go into this series and beat the Brooklyn Nets. Nobody. So that in itself is concerning to me because the Celtics are coming to this thing playing with house money at this point. So my only job right now is to get my stock up and make sure that in the off season that I'm able to go into contract negotiations saying, look what I just did against the most superpower team in the NBA right now, right? And we just took them to 6 or 7 games. I'm gonna tell you something right now. and Boston does not have to win this series. But if Boston takes the Nets to 7 games, oh my God, stop playing with me right now. Listen, it's not necessarily about the wins and the losses, but if the Boston Celtics, after the debacle they had to kind of bag their way in, they had to go through the play-in to get to the Nets. And if they take the Nets to 7, oh my God, I'm telling you, it's going to be some eye-raising and some eyebrow-raising going on around the league. I'm just saying.
I'm ready. You know what I want to see with that team? For me, honestly, everybody already got them winning a championship. But here's the thing to me. James Harden didn't win one yet.
Nope.
Kyrie had to get LeBron to win one. And Kevin Durant wanted the Warriors to win one. None of them cats ever led a team. Literally led a team to a championship. They all jumped on a bandwagon and got some moral support. You know what I mean? So I want to see what they really made up in the playoff. Because granted, you can shoot the ball well. I get it. They got a lot of they got a lot of players who've been there. Blake Griffin, they all hungry, but still, y'all got none of them got Blake Griffin. None of them have went and got a ring on their own. Like, you were the main dude. I'm gonna take the team and put them on my back, and I'm gonna take them there. Durant didn't do it in OKC. You know, Houston. My man didn't do it in Houston, and Kyrie Irving did not do it till LeBron came back to Cleveland, and they won that ring. So to me, y'all guys got to show me something. They got to show me something.
Think about this real quick, Devon. Tatum last night, the game was going off the rails.
That boy crazy, bro.
The game was. He scored 50 points last night. Tatum, out of nowhere, he's just like, you know what? I understand y'all ain't got to go in tonight. Give me the rock. Give me the rock. I'm gonna put the team on my back. I got you. Let's go. All you need to do is facilitate my shots and just get me to my spot on the floor, and I got you. He dropped 50 on these guys. How much defense? And to Rick V's point, how much defense does the Brooklyn Nets play? Now that was a big criticism on them going into the season, right? Now throughout the season they got just a little bit better. They went from being horrible to bad. You know what I'm saying? So you still don't play defense. You know, you were real bad at one point, and you went from being real bad to just bad. But you can't stop anybody, really. I mean, when you look at it, because your game plan is to outscore the opponent that's on the floor. But if I got somebody that's playing defense on you and taking away, I only got to take away one of you guys. I don't have to take away because Kevin Durant is gonna get his shot. That dude right there, I'm okay with it. If I'm a head coach, KD gonna get his. I can't stop KD. I can't even contain KD because he's supernatural. I understand that. I respect the guy's game and what he does. But James Harden and Kyrie Irving, the only thing I got to do with them is get in their head. If I get in your head and take you out of your game, and Kyrie is already, I don't know where he is right now. So it ain't hard to get him out. I mean, he out there doing something different right now. I ain't criticizing the brother.
He out there burning some sage.
A lot of sage. Look, he in the opium house right now. I'm telling you. Look, I'm just saying. I don't know what's going on, but he and if I'm a head coach, I'm concerned because my guy, one of my main pieces, is not invested in what the team has going on. So if I'm in the locker room and I'm watching all these interviews and all this other stuff, I'm on TV saying basketball is not the important thing to me right now. Dude, we about to go into the playoffs. Do you understand what's going on? This is how I feed my family. And you saying you're not concerned? What are we talking about right now? Don't play with me right now like this, Kyrie. This is not the time or the place. So I say all that to say this. I'm gonna get off this real quick, but I just say all this to say all that to say this. The Nets, on paper, are a great basketball team. On paper.
Absolutely.
On paper.
Absolutely.
But in real life, up close and personal, they're not invincible. They can be beat. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen when it happens. It's gonna happen. I see it coming. It's gonna happen. And when it does, whoever's in that front office is gonna be looking for a job. Because I'm telling you right now, all that big money they paid all these guys to come in, the Blake Griffins and all these other, and think about the people that traded away to get all these names up in that building. Think about all that talent that walk out of the building.
Yeah, Karis LeVert. They traded a lot of good players there. Yeah, Jared Allen, picks. A lot of good players left there. And one thing is an X factor for me in that Boston series is going to be Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker is going to return back to the city, to New York, to play against the New York team, despite the fact it's not the real New York team that he wants to really put it on, but it's a chance for them to really stick it. And I think he's going to have a huge game. He's going to match up with Kyrie Irving. They're going to go. That's going to be a battle there. I think the Boston Celtics might fall short because they're missing. They're going to miss. Brown is going to be really felt it. And I think that they're gonna fall short, but I don't think Marks is gonna get fired as a GM there if they don't win. Maybe if they don't win if they opt out. Remember, if they don't win this year and they got one more year to try to get this chip. If not, all three of the big three could opt out in 2022 or 2023. they all could opt out and they could leave Brooklyn with no assets, no draft picks, nothing, and back to back to where they belong in the dungeon. So
Yeah. You gotta remember this here. My man playing Marcus Smart on Kyrie. That Kyrie ain't gonna be walking away with no easy buckets against Marcus Smart.
no, Marcus Smart is Trump's great guy, man.
Yeah. So I like that matchup.
Let me put this on your mind real quick, BS, because you said something that was real interesting, right? So say for instance, if this season goes like I think it's going to go, do you think, even though these guys have another year to try to congeal and get everything together, but do you think with all the adversity and everything else that these guys have shown, and none of them have shown me yet that they are playing for one another, the way that the Knicks have gelled, you know what I'm saying? Do you think those egos will say, well, I'm going to forego this other year I got, and I'm going to look for another opportunity to go do something else? Or I don't want to play basketball if I'm a Kyrie Irving and it's too much stuff going on and I can't handle this anymore. I'm just going to retire. You know what I'm saying? It's some stuff out there to consider now. There's some stuff
Kyrie,
out there.
I can see. I won't be surprised if he retires. But I think if they don't win, I think they're gonna give it one more shot next year. I think everyone will bring. I think they'll try to upgrade and bring that one more. Give it the last one, because then and if they don't do it, then they're all gonna part their ways like the Red Sea. They're just gonna part and go their own ways. You're gonna see everyone bailing out. But I think if they don't win, I think they'll still give it one more. I think they will go for it, that one more opportunity with them. If they fall short, I can see them try to add some veterans, that bring on to try to win and say, hey, we're gonna need you in this XYZ going there. What do you guys think?
So
Who
I even mentioned something.
Nice.
I even mentioned something, let's say at the beginning of the season, that it's not going to be the same Brooklyn Nets if the Knicks has it clicking. I said it with Man show, like, hey, it's two different sides, because at the end of the day, yeah, you're doing it in Brooklyn and it's a plus, but you're doing it in Brooklyn while you know that the Knicks is not the team that we expect them to be. Now, what happens if the Knicks start clicking? If the Knicks start clicking, it's like, yeah, Brooklyn, you got it. Yeah, you got three super players, but it's not the same. You're not New York. You're not New York. You could have Brooklyn is a borough. It's not the whole New York that you represented it. And they just, to me, they realize that if they win a championship, yeah, it's good, but it's not as big as winning a championship with the Knicks. So when they start putting Apple and Apple together, they wanted to go in when they actually joined the Brooklyn, they wanted to go in destroying the narrative that they could actually get this, that, and this. But while they playing for the Brooklyn, they just realized with all the media, with everybody spitting true, that hey, I don't want to keep on sounding like a broken record, but at the end of the day, yeah, you playing for Brooklyn, but it's not the Knicks. So if the Knicks, we could already see that they already got it clicking. Nobody's giving them the type of respect that they need, unfortunately.
That's a fact.
And they keep on saying that, oh yeah, but Brooklyn is relevant. Let's say every place else, but it's not. It's not in like they're not relevant in New York. That's BS. That's BS. Because if that's the case, Golden State wouldn't be relevant when they had that season high. Everybody loved the Golden State. I was even preaching, man, I wish that the Golden State win. At the end of the day, everybody wants like a Cinderella story, something that actually, wow, you saw the Knicks, they didn't win for so long, and they actually made it happen. You imagine if that was when KD, Kyrie Irving, and Harden, they was playing for the Knicks and they made it happen, man. Put that in the history book. They'll die in the history book, being recognized as one of the best. But just because they did it, and now they realize, well, it's not as big as winning a chip in New York Knicks in MSG, it just hurts them. I believe that's the main reason that the chemistry is not clicking.
Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, go ahead, Sarge. Go ahead, Sarge.
I'm just gonna say real quick. I think that's part of the reason why I think they're not where they are right now, because when they came into this whole venture of going to Brooklyn, the narrative is not what it is right now. And they were going off of what the story was then. The Knicks was a broken franchise. Nobody wanted to come here. There was no camaraderie. There was no. You didn't have a superstar. You didn't have a snowball's chance of winning anything this season. You were going to be mediocre at best. Now, what they're doing, they're sitting back in the locker room scratching their head like, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Because, and to Nice's point, the only people that are talking about the Brooklyn Nets are people outside of New York City. If you live in New York City, you're talking about the Knicks and only the Knicks. And that's it, period.
Yep. Yeah. I think, you know what I think where they mess up at? To guess who they playing. They got Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash. You know why they brought them cats in? Because they Kyrie, KD, and them cats, they run that show.
Yeah.
They run that show. You know what I mean? And D'Antoni, come on. I mean, that's what I'm like, listen, they can't hold a candle to Tom Thibodeau. I mean, that's like night and day coaching. Yeah, that's 7 seconds left basketball. That's all good. But in the playoffs, y'all ain't run up and down the floor like that. You could cancel that. You know what I mean? I just think that they're gonna be it ain't gonna be like they think it is. I just don't think so. I don't care how many top players you brought in. They make me think of that. I know it might go back years, but the '89 Baltimore Orioles. I remember when they brought in Bell. They brought in all this talent in Baltimore with the Orioles. Albert Bell, you name it, and Palmeiro, and them cats didn't do nothing. Because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't got nobody to coach that talent, it don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? And I think that's what the Brooklyn Nets up for. They got a good team. I ain't hating on them, but I think, like I said, to me, KD and them didn't show me nothing. When to be superstars, you got to do like LeBron them did. You got to do like Jordan them did. You got to be able to take a team, put them on your back, even if you at least get them there. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, all these cats. You still ain't get them to the finals. You was up 3-1. You was up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors and got swept for. I don't see that in them. They don't have that grittiness to me. They're not gritty ball players. They finesse ball players. They real finesse. They got skills. Yeah. But they don't. To me, they ain't got the heart though. I don't think they got the heart.
Yeah. Well, I heard of the Brooklyn Nets last year, not having Kevin Durant come back because they had a chance to steal this. That's why they came to the Brooklyn Nets. They thought they were going to steal the city away from the New York Knicks. Let's go to Brooklyn. We'll try to steal them. We'll steal the city. We'll get the spotlight. And now the worst thing that can happen to the Brooklyn Nets, besides their injuries and not coming in there, is the New York Knicks being relevant and being good and changing the narrative and becoming a good story. Because they don't even get respected in the New York newspapers. So you see these guys who are all these three, and even Blake Griffin. Every stop they've been to, they've been treated as gods. The main story, USA Today, Time, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and now they're all together in Brooklyn with a super team, and they can't even their page. They're like the fourth sports story in New York, the newspapers. The Knicks they'll cover every angle of the Knicks. They'll cover even if how Franklin and Killer play the center bench, before they tell you about the Brooklyn Nets story, and then you got the Yankees, who's a huge story. The Mets, with the new owner in here, that was took the headlines. So they've been on the radar, and they're like, man, what do we got to do here in this city to even get our names in the paper or getting any, consideration? And unfortunately, they're not going to get it. The Knicks are in the playoffs. They're 4th seed. The Knicks win this first round in Brooklyn because Brooklyn could win the games in 3 games. And they won't get the coverage. They'll be more about the Knicks. The Knicks is galvanized. The team is ready for the second round. XYZ, and that's what's hurting the Brooklyn Nets. And I think these guys are going to bail out on them. I think these guys are going to get out. And let me go to another market where I'm going to get appreciated. I can see Durant going up to Miami. I can see that going to happen, and everyone else go to different places. Whoever is the hot team at that moment, Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Devon.
No, I would just say I was reading the guy. I'm gonna let Knights get in there, but Rick V said I'm in New York. There are Net fans They have more Knicks fans in Brooklyn. Damn.
and that's in Brooklyn.
Right.
Hey, so
crazy,
there's one team in particular that the Nets reminds me of this year. Like this year Nets reminds me of a team from last year, and look what happened to that team. So it doesn't matter if you build up a team to beat a specific team. Like the Nets, to me, the Nets is built to beat the Lakers.
Right.
Yes.
So what happens when you have a team designed to beat a particular team? We already saw it with Clippers. So it's the same way. So you trying to think about once we get it in the playoff. There's no guarantee if you're gonna be the team that's gonna make it in the playoff. So what happened then? Look at the Clippers. Right. After that, nobody wanted to even respect the Clippers after that because they was thinking about Lakers. They didn't even got to that point because they got annihilated by Denver.
They did, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah,
so it gets us to think like if that's the case, are they actually relevant just because they got 3 superstars? Because if they don't prove themselves this year, I'm telling you, it's not going to be the same. This year, they might get a championship. If they get a championship after 2 weeks, nobody's going to remember. It's going to be like, okay. But New York Knicks, man, that will stay with us for at least 3 to 4 months. Like, oh, you having a bad day? Yeah, this and this happened. My girl left me. I lost my car, lost my house. Hey, but guess what? The next one. Oh yeah, I got something good. You know, it's right. 2 different sides. It's 2 different sides. You can't compare.
Right.
I think what you call beat them though. I think Philly would give it to Brooklyn. I don't think they got nothing for Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Them cats don't play no defense in Brooklyn. Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons will destroy them, dude, because they don't get down like that. You know what I mean? And then you got Curry there. You got Tobias Harris. The Nets ain't no surefire win. And I don't believe that, man. I really believe they don't got no answer for for Joel Embiid. None of them. None. Joel Embiid got 40 on them cats every night, bro.
I definitely put Philly at a higher seed than I will put the Nets in coming out of the East. But imagine this. I'm gonna put something on your mind real quick, right? So imagine this, and you know I'm one of what you call a soothsayer. So for those of you that don't know what a soothsayer is, that's a person that speaks things into existence, right? So here we go. We played the Atlanta Hawks in our first round. Knicks against the Hawks. So I already have been on record as saying I got the Knicks winning this series in 5 games. So the next game is going to be played is going to be against Philly because whoever comes out of this 8 seed, they're not going to beat Philadelphia. That's not going to happen. No. Now remember the games that we had against Philadelphia. Now we have a bad record against Philly. Philly has handed us our lunch every time we played them. At some point, if you're a kid and you're getting bullied, you don't get tired of getting bullied. I'm telling you. And you're gonna go get you a roll of quarters. You're gonna put them in your hand, and when the bully comes up to you, hey, while he's sitting there popping his gums, he might get sucker punched. I'm just saying. I'm not advocating violence. I'm just saying he might get sucker punched. I'm just saying. So imagine this. Imagine if the underrated New York Knicks go into the series against the Philadelphia 76ers, and somehow, by the grace of all that's holy and in the basketball universe, we pull a win out in that series. And then we're playing against who? The Brooklyn.
Oh, that's the one I wanted. I wanted them from the jump.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted them in the second round. I'm like, I hope we get the Nets in the second round, man.
I will tell you something right now. I will take whatever days I need to take off work, but I'm coming to the city for a game in New York. You can't be missing for that. You just can't. But look, I always said that I had the Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's my thing. I truly believe that with the heart and soul that this team has, we're capable of doing that. And then I just look at all the dysfunction around everybody else, what they got going on in the league. And that matters. Dysfunction matters. Our guys are a cohesive unit that's going out for one common goal. Hey, we just need to win the next game. And they're not even talking about, I want to go to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals. Their mindset is, hey, we got a game on Sunday. Let's concentrate on that game. We need to win this game right here. That's what they're focused on. They leave it
Yeah.
to people like me to talk about what's going on in the soothsayers, what's going on in the future. I'm gonna call Kyrie and see if I can get some sage and burn some sage real quick, and then that'll help me with my visions and whatnot.
And let me ask you a question: if Miami beat Milwaukee, who Miami got? The Nets.
Yeah.
The Nets, yeah, they play the Nets.
If the Nets
But
beat Boston.
Right.
I was about to say that BX, if the Nets beat Boston, Boston's not going to be an easy out. Boston has nothing to lose in this series, and people just automatically. And I just did it myself unconsciously. I just did the same thing. I just brushed past Boston and said the Nets will win. That's not guaranteed. What happens if the first upset of the series is Boston against the Nets?
Sergeant, but you saw that game. It felt like everything they were shooting was going in on Boston.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, Lord, everything was going in.
Look, they could have been in the concession stand and shot a shot, and it was going to drop. I'm telling you, everything was falling, everything. But basketball is a game of runs.
Mhm.
So you got to be able to survive those runs and then make a run of your own. And if you're not able to, you lose the game. So it just depends. And again, I go back to what we talked about before. I just don't believe that the Nets have the mental capacity to compete with these guys that have nothing to lose. They're coming into your building saying, hey, I'm here right now. I'm here to win a basketball game. I'm here to compete. So bring me your best. What you got? Let's go. And the worst thing that can happen to the Nets right now, even if game one Boston loses, but they're competitive, the Nets have to go into this game and blow Boston out. If they do anything less than that, they're going to be in trouble. Because what you just said is this. Okay, I came in, I took your best punch, and I'm still standing. I'm still standing. You got the judge's decision. You got 3-2. So the judges gave you the win. But guess what? My lip ain't busted. My eyes not swole up. I can still see you. And guess what? I'll see you again in about 3 days, buddy. And when I come for you this time, I've taken your best. I've taken everything that you gave me, and I'm still here. That's the scariest thing that Boston has to. I mean, not Boston, but the Nets have to worry about right now.
I like Brad Stevens better than both of their coaches. I think Brad Stevens better than Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash. To me,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And like I said, and they got to forget about my man Fournier can run them up, though. You know what I mean? If Fournier get it popping, that's a different. If Fournier, Kemba Walker, and Jason Tatum get it going, the Nets going to be in trouble. If Marcus Smart can slow Kyrie down, which I think he can, because Marcus Smart one of the better ones in the business down there. Mm-hmm. I really think that them. Oh damn, LeBron, AD, and Schroeder 4-23. Y'all serious?
Look, LeBron James has 6 points at halftime. 6 points. The highest scorer in this game for the Lakers is Alex Caruso. He has 12 points.
12 points in 14 minutes. Yeah.
In 14 minutes. Anthony Davis has 5 points in 18 minutes. LeBron James 6 points in 18 minutes. Andre Drummond 2 points in 11 minutes. Dennis Schroeder has 2 points in 19 minutes. Karis LeVert Pope has 6 points in 17
Pope, yeah. Do y'all think this would be a tale of two halves, though? Do you think this would be a tale of two halves?
No, I think that the Lakers know who they are right now.
Yeah,
and they are reserved to know they're going.
Yeah, I'm not watching. That's why I'm asking you guys.
And the way that they guarded Davis and LeBron, I'm looking at the Golden State like, wow, I had no idea that they play defense. Like they play solid defense.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at their ball movement. Ball movement was always there, but their defense, I'm beginning to believe that we actually look at this team like being very underrated when it comes to defense. But hey, they have it. Yeah. They have it.
That's the tale of the tape that we're talking about right now. You got an underrated Warriors team that everyone automatically, because You got a
Ooh,
LeBron
baby.
James and Anthony Davis on the team that you're really not giving the Warriors a chance because Klay Thompson is out. Okay.
Yeah,
Steph Curry said, okay, I guess what?
I'll make it happen.
That's right. Like, get on my back. Get on my back and let's go. Let's go. I'm
Wow,
telling
but
you.
you seeing that ball movement that, like, just like I said, we all knew that they had it, but wow, man,
Yeah,
it's looking like a complete team.
Hey, can you imagine the Lakers internet not getting to the finals?
So
Look,
so
Well,
so what do you guys think about the gossip between Lakers and Clippers? You guys ain't heard about Clippers that they lost the game on purpose?
yeah.
oh, really? Huh.
That,
They
man.
didn't want to play the Lakers.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think it's more business than anything else. Like, because guess what? If we talking about Lakers and Clippers, it's going to be the same day that either one is going to be playing. But now if it's another team, you
Got
can't have
more
both
money.
games playing.
Right.
So it's like it's business. I have a feeling it's more business than anything
I,
else.
I agree with you on that one. Yeah, I could see that. Anyway, I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. Middle since I joined Knicks Real Talk. I don't think the Clippers get out of the second round. I could even see them losing this first round. I think they just. I just don't. I have a feeling on them. I predicted. I don't know if you know. Nice. I said the Knicks were going to go into the Staples Centers and beat the Clippers. I just see something with that. I just have a feeling about that team that I don't think they're gonna be fall below way expectation. I just don't. I don't know what it is about them that I just feel uncomfortable, unsettled with them. I don't see them going too far in, and they're not gonna be there. I think they're gonna get eliminated. I won't be surprised first round, but they won't go past second round. I don't see them making a deep run, and I think that's gonna prevent. That's gonna entice Kawhi Leonard to opt out.
Yeah. Now, you know what? You said something there that's very thought provoking, B. You know what? You have provoked a lot of my thoughts tonight. That's not good. But I would say this. I think that when you look at the way that the Clippers formed their team, they did it in reverse. So normally I look at building a team like you build a house, right? So what's the first thing you want to do to make sure you have a good house? You want to make sure your foundation is strong, right?
That's right.
You
That's
want
right.
to make sure that you level the ground out, you pack that dirt in there, you put those, get the concrete poured, you get those supports up before you even think about putting the floor in, right? And then you build a frame based off of the foundation. What the Clippers did, the Clippers were cherry picking. They went for the names. Okay, so you go for the Kawhi, and they got big names, right? So you go for the Kawhi Leonard of the world. So Kawhi says, okay, well, before I come to you, I need for you to go out there and I need for you to holler at my boy Divine, right? Because if you can't get Divine to come, I'm not coming. I'm going someplace else. I don't care what you got to offer him. If you want me and Divine are a package deal. Period. Now, this is the problem. We've never played together ever. So what
Mhm.
I'm basing this off of is what I think that you could be, and that wasn't even proven. So I don't know what. I understand that Paul George is from that area, and he probably wanted to go home. So you wouldn't have to twist his arm to get him to go out there.
Mhm.
And for the thought of playing with another superstar, a Kawhi Leonard, then yeah, okay. And then you look at the way that the pieces that are on the team. What you don't think about is, okay, once I do all this maneuvering and posturing and I get to where I want to go, what is that going to cost the team? Because somebody on that team right now that I'm looking at is not going to be there. I'm going to have to give up something to make this deal happen. So if Nice is my point guard, and that I like the way he played, and I know that he's going to be able to facilitate and get me the ball in positions I need to be in, and then I
Mhm.
get there, and they tell me that, oh well, we had to let Nice go in order to complete the deal.
Mm.
Well, what the hell? No, that wasn't part of the deal. Well, we didn't talk about that. Our deal was to get you and Divine up in here. So then we got to think about, second and third order effects. Okay, well, we got you two here. Well, what's the next best thing? Well, let me go out here and holler at BX. Hey, BX, check this out. I know you on an expiring deal or whatever the case may be. How would you like to come out and play ball with the Clippers? And that's how this team is constructed right now. That's why when you see them play on the floor, they look like they don't have that cohesion. And then on top of all that, On top of all that, you throw into the mix a Doc Rivers that allows a Kyrie Irving, allows a Paul George to do things opposite of what the rest of the teams are doing. And then you got a Montrezl Harrell in the locker room like, oh hell no, I'm not doing this. We all supposed to be here together, but you let this one and that one take games off, and I'm out here sweating my butt off. What makes them better than me? I mean, I'm out here. Bloods went to. I get paid a check to do this job right here. They get paid a check to do the same thing I'm doing, but you giving them a day off? Oh no, buddy. You got me messed up right now. You got me bent. I'm not going for this. And then you got disharmony in the locker room, and then that's a recipe for disaster.
Do you guys think that the Lakers is in a rush to actually win this game?
Yes, they are, and that's going to be that downfall right there.
Look at the team that they. All right, whoever gets the 7th seed is going to go. I have a feeling like that's going to be the interesting game right there on that side between whoever's going against Phoenix. Because if it's Golden State, it's going to be Golden State and Phoenix. That's going to be an interesting match right there. And then you have Denver and Portland. So I'm just saying that's a fast-paced basketball game on that side. So on the other side, you got Utah Jazz going against the 8th seed and Clippers against Dallas. So it's like kind of a slow momentum on Lakers and Dallas. And Utah Jazz, let's say if Lakers lose this game and they want to actually go against the Utah Jazz, I won't see them losing that game for some reason. I look at it like, they might be Utah, because it's just like I'm saying, Sergeant. It doesn't matter how good of a record. How many times have we seen that there's a team that has the best record, but they for some reason they don't show up?
I'm with you.
Like mentally, we talking about Davis and LeBron, especially LeBron. LeBron already has, like, I don't know what type of shoulder rub happened there in the Heat. But whatever Dwayne Wade did, LeBron is a different animal. LeBron is a different animal whenever it comes to that. So now his mentality is different. So Utah Jazz might be folding. So don't find the surprising.
Yeah, I said the Utah Jazz peaked too early in the season. I think they peaked, they gelled, and now everyone has a scouting report on them. I'm not saying they still number one in the league, but there's a report that you could play. You frustrate Rudy Gobert. They could be beat. I like Donovan Mitchell though. He's the most underrated point guard in the NBA. I might think that doesn't get the respect that he deserves. I like him, man. That's one of my favorite point guards is Donovan Mitchell.
You know what scared me about the Utah Jazz? The only thing scared me about them is last year in that bubble, the way them in Denver got down, and they didn't have Bogdanovich. You know what I mean? They didn't have that boy last year in the playoffs. You know what I mean? They didn't have that boy, and that boy, the sniper from out there. So I'm like, you know what? And then Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray was going at it. That was some of the funkiest basketball. I said, them guys were dropping 40, 50 on each other. They was getting down. I'm like, that's basketball. They was
1 point game.
Yeah.
1 point game. The Lakers have stormed back.
I'm telling y'all. I tell you, it might be a tale of two halves. Yeah,
Curry just got fouled on a 3-point line attempt, but man, the Lakers
confident.
Yeah, man. They got AD and LeBron, man.
Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you this, right? I have seen games. Look, I'm for anybody that's in the chat right now, right? What I'm about to say, you're not gonna understand if you're younger than me. And how old are you, Devon? You over 50?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Devon will know what I'm talking about. So anybody in the chat that's younger than myself and Devon will not understand what I'm about to talk about. I'm gonna tell you about a movie, and I want you to go Google this movie, find it, and go watch it, and then you will understand how I view basketball and how the game of basketball is played. The name of the movie is The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Word bone.
Go watch that game.
Thought you was about to say Space Jam.
I talk about Space Jam. No.
Yeah. Hey, yo, if y'all can't go through that, you gotta check that out, bro. That's a classic. Yeah.
Listen, man.
Dr. J and all them cats.
Yes, sir. And the theme about that. This is why I'm a New York Giant fan right now today. The New York Giants to me are a blue collar football team. That's how I view them. There is no superstar on the team. There are stars on the team. There's no superstar. There's no one above anyone else. So when they come together on that team, you got 11 men on the field with one common goal. I'm going to smash my elbow into your throat for the next 4 quarters of football until we win this game. And that's how the Knicks are. And the Knicks and the Giants to me are synonymous, right? You look at
Yep,
the way
yep.
these teams are built. You got Joe Judge that comes in here and people gave him no chance. They're like, this dude is a special teams coach of all people. And I was one of them. I'm like, who is this we got coming in here to coach this for? Look, dude, my wife would tell you I was here throwing stuff. I done threw chairs in the pool. I mean, I'm telling you, I done did all. I was mad. I was heated. Heated. You hear me? Heated. But then I
Right.
sat down and kind of looked at what was going on. I was like, okay, let me give the guy a chance. So fast forward this year, the front office goes out and brings in Tom Thibodeau. And Tom Thibodeau changes the culture of what's going on in the locker room. And look where we are right now. So that gives, I
Yep.
say all that to say this, that gives me hope for my football team this year because we made a whole bunch of acquisitions in the offseason, a whole lot. So I always say it, I'm giving Mr. Daniel Jones to Thanksgiving. Hey, buddy, I'm sorry. I'm not giving you a whole season. All these people
Hey,
that we went out and got for you to be productive and successful, if you can't produce by Thanksgiving, as Ron Cleveland would say,
Ooh.
this is your captain speaking, Mr. Daniel Jones. Fasten your seatbelt, put your tray in the upright position, and you're going to destinations unknown. It was nice knowing you. Thank you for your contributions. God bless and good night.
now listen. Nah, just go ahead and trade him from my man Aaron Rodgers. Fuck it. We just might want to kill all that right now. Go send him to Green Bay. Send Aaron Rodgers down here. We'll see y'all in the Super Bowl. Game over.
Look, Green Bay is in a world of hurt right now. I don't think they will ever do. But you know what?
I think Jerry Jones ball out this year, though. I think he's gonna ball out
He'll
this
be
year,
fine.
man.
He'll be fine.
Okay, you know what?
Danny
The
Dimes will be
only thing Jerry Jones had a problem to me was his turnovers. That was about
Yes.
that was just the turnovers. He got a good arm. He can run the ball.
Well, if he don't trip over his own feet, you on the fast. Wait, look, you in a wide open field. There's nothing between you and the end zone. You running and you trip over your own feet. Come on now, stop playing with me. I can't live that.
Hey, you should have, no butt fumbles.
No, we didn't have no butt fumbles. That's a fact. No butt fumbles. Oh,
Hey, listen. So what y'all think, man? Y'all give me the thoughts on Sunday's game before we get out of here. What y'all think, man?
You want me to go first? I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
Okay, so I say the Knicks are going to get this first game. It won't be easy, and it's going to be one of those tried games that if you're watching, you're going to have ebbs and flow. The game's going to ebb and flow, and as fans, we will ebb and flow. We're going to start slow, as we always do, and I hate that about our team, but we will start slow. But where we make up ground is we will not allow the Hawks to get on any type of significant run. They're going to get their little, splashes here or there, but I think that our defense is going to be so suffocating for them, they will not be able to get into their game plan. They won't. The Knicks are going to win this basketball game. The first playoff game in Madison Square Garden since 2013. Imagine that. The fans are going to be electric. Everybody watching is going to be electric. Those guys in those Knicks uniforms understand what this means to be in the Garden and be able to play this game. I got the New York Knicks winning the game 118 to 102. That's my prediction.
That's a blowout.
It is. And my boy, the Rook from the Brook, will score in double figures. That's gonna happen.
Okay. I see that. What do you think? Nice.
Knicks all the way, but it's gonna be one of those that if Atlanta doesn't show like they came in to fight, I could see the Knicks beating the Atlanta in 3 to 4 games. It's not going to take 5. It's all going to fall down into how everything plays in the first game. Because if they don't make a statement in the first game, I'm telling you that momentum might take steam, and we could have a blowout just like last time that we match up against Atlanta. And if that's the case, yeah, it's going to be dirty. But the key player is going to be Quickly, because it's a fast tempo game, so it's going to be between Quickly and Derrick Rose and Burks. I'm not gonna put in what's his name, RJ, because it's a quick tempo. So we gotta put the quickest one, but Quickly is one, and have Frank Ntilikina guarding that dude from ATL. That's about it. Points wise, it's gonna be a blowout, a 20 point, just like Sargent said. So there's no reason for me to argue that.
Oh, right. Okay. BX, will you talk to me, my brother? What do you think? Give me your thoughts.
I think the Knicks win. I think they'll win by 9 points. I think it's going to be like 103 to 94 or maybe around that. I think the bench is going to be the key that's going to bring us the victory. I think the bench is going to outscore Atlanta's bench, and it's will cause them to want to play their starters longer, and that's what's going to cause the series to go quicker. That's why I say it'd be a gentleman's sweep. I'm being nice for 5 games, maybe less, because it's going to tire them out because they won't handle the Knicks bench. So now game 2, game 3, they're going to be playing the starters longer, and then the way the team is going to bruise the front court of the Knicks, of the Hawks, they're going to be bruised. They're going to get banged up. Capella's going to get banged up. Gibson, he's going to bang them up, and they're going to be bruised. They're going to feel it. They're going to be sore. And that's why I think the series is going to go short for that reason, because they're the physicality. There's no finesse, no running up and down. And I just hope that the officials let them play and don't start injecting themselves in the first few minutes and trying to change the narrative of the game and make them want to run up and down. I want them to let them play basketball, to a degree, and we pay to watch you guys, the basketball team, not the NBA referees. So I think the Knicks win. I think it's going to be 104 to 93 around there, 9-point victory.
Well, look, that dude, I'm gonna start calling BX Jedi. No, I'm gonna change your name. You BX Yoda right now. I'm telling you.
Good call. Yeah, real quick. I think it's going to be. I pretty much second what y'all saying. I think Julius Randle going to have a monster game. I think he's going to get John Collins a business. I do think Derrick Rose going to have a good game. I do think Emmanuel Quickly going to have a good game, and I think Reggie Bullock is going to give them cats problems on offense and defense. I think the defense is going to be pivotal against whether it's Herder, whether it's the Bondage, whatever his name is, and I just think Albert's going to run them up, and I think the biggest player of the game, the New York Knicks fans. Them fans in that garden are going to have Atlanta like, you won't want to come up in here. Right. Them fans going to be rowdy, bro. Watch when we look at that TV Sunday, and man, that you going to think we was back in the 90s with a full stadium, bro. That shit going to be crazy up in there. I just can feel it, man. I can hear MVP defense. I mean, it's going to be bananas up in there. I don't think the Hawks, Hawks don't play with a crowd like the Knicks. You know what I mean? Even in their own arena, they don't hear noise like that. So when the Knicks start getting into them cats, getting up in them cats, and them fans start acting crazy, it's gonna be crazy up in there.
Dangerous will be in the building. Dangerous will be in the building for that game. Oh, that is nice.
Go represent, brother. Give Knicks Real Talk some love. Give for the love of the game, everybody. Shout us out. Go up in there and handle your business, though. That's gonna be awesome, man.
Hey, question, Nice. Are you going to the Atlanta game, Nice? Since you're down in Atlanta. I think you're muted.
You muted, Nice. You muted.
Yeah, I'm like close to Denver, so
not ATL. No. Okay.
But even the funny thing that is the main reason I just do not see the Hulk going over 4 games is because just think about it this way, Divine. They be saying that ATL, the fan base of the Knicks, is large in ATL. So
Yeah.
If they show up, it's like it doesn't matter what we play. It's still gonna be like
It's a
an
home
MSG.
game. Yeah, it's a home game. And then the guys from I was talking to Uncle Freeze. I was on his pod the other day. So the Lawrence Tears family is traveling to Atlanta on Memorial Day weekend for that game, that Sunday's game. So
they got the schedule out. It's gonna Sunday. Is it a Sunday game for real?
it's either Friday or Sunday. That's what they're gonna be down there that weekend. So
Oh man, I think Bronx Jedi might get on the road and head down to Atlanta, man. I gotta check that out. That's only 6 hours away from me, man.
If my daughter wasn't graduating this during that week, I would go too. I would definitely be there. But that's my baby girl. That's my baby girl.
Congratulations, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure Mega Buzz is already full.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be on, man. But yeah, I got the Knicks winning that game. I think this week off, man. You can't give Tom Thibodeau a week to get his shit together. You can't do that. That's scary. It's scary. And I think he been there. Nathan Miller's a good coach. Thibodeau been there. None of them Hawks, none of them other than Clint Capella, been in a big game like this. And Lou Williams, maybe. Derrick Rose been there. Todd's been there. They know what it is. They coach know what it is. So I'm like what I'm saying. I'm on Dave Jackson, man. I think if it go five, it's because Atlanta just gets one because they get one. But I think the Knicks. I think everybody talking about how they think this guy. I don't think they got nothing for the Knicks. I know they got shooters, but basketball is not only about shooting either. You know, when you play in a team like the Knicks who got a good defense, that neutralizes a lot of that shooting. They not. I don't know. I don't think Kevin Huerter. I don't think he can handle R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett bully. I think Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett just should go bully ball on them cats. You know what I mean? Because he'd be demolishing John Collins, and they should just go bully ball. And when Clint Capella come to try to get that block shot, pass the ball. That's it. Game over. And our 3-point shooters, the way they shoot in the association this year, third in the percentage in 3-point shooting. If you can't stop Julius Randle, and then you try to start double teaming Julius Randle, and next thing you know, he start passing to Reggie Bullock and Burks and them, it's lights out in the garden, bro. So let's hope we get that win, man. It was really, really great. I know I see y'all Monday once the game is over, but we come back on Monday. But it was beautiful having y'all on tonight, man. I really appreciate it. I got to get it up in the morning. I got to drive up to Philadelphia tomorrow. Yeah, I got to drive to Philly tomorrow, man.
It's a pleasure, guys. Always.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys.
Hey, once again,
go
guys.
Knicks, man.
Hey,
once
again,
chat.
Thank you guys for the platform you provide for us Knicks fans, man. I thank you.
Hey, man, it's a lot of love, man. We're real. Well, yeah, but salute to the chat and everybody in there, man. Everybody. Rick V, Nice already here with us, but Esco, you name it, man. Dave Jackson, everybody. Rick V, Camilio. Y'all keep it moving, man. We get on the next round, man. But right now, let's go Knicks. Let's go get this jammy. Let's get this thing popping so we can get this lead. Because we ready to go to the second round already, man. Y'all already know what it is. We're going to handle this thing. Knicks Real Talk, the night show. Salute to everybody out there, man. Y'all be safe. You already know the deal. COVID-19 still out there. Wash your hands, wear your mask, keep it distance to this thing, get under control so we can get back on our grind and make it happen, man. So salute, man. Peace to the panel. Thank you, Nice. Sorry, you already know how we do, man. BX, I talked to you, my brother. Y'all have a good one, man. We're going to close it with
a safe drive.
Promo. All right, bro. Let's get it popping up in here. Salute.
All right, salute.
All right, peace.
This year we'll make the playoffs. Okay. New York, we here.
Hey, did you hear? What's up?
We here. We are here. We here.
Hello?
We here.
We here!
Yes, sir. We here. We here.
Yo, Knicks Real Talk Tonight show. We out of here in peace. Enjoy the game. Let's go Knicks. Let's go get it popping Sunday. We see y'all Monday night, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Knicks Real Talk Tonight